So, Demon, are you enjoying your decision for today to talk to us?
I'm very much enjoying my decision to talk to you today. It's what I've been looking forward to all week. Something to do with
Your
Destiny.
choice.
Yes, my
Your
choice.
This is going to become a thing, this. I can see it. It's lovely.
My choice is to roll the title so we can talk about Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact he's going to make the choice as well to continuously ignore me every time I mention merchandise.
Mm-hmm. He can and will replace you with an AI, and maybe already has by the time this comes out on Monday. Tune in to find out if any of the words you said actually appear in the show.
There'll be 6 words by me and 62 by AI.
Mm-hmm.
I've already replaced you. That's it. In my head, I've already replaced you.
Hey, I'm Noble 2.5, here to replace Noble 1.0.
And I'm Peroty 2.0, here to replace Perry. And yes, I know I'm not as fancy as 2.5 here, but I can still do a good job.
Sure you can. Anywho, I'm here with my lesser counterpart to inform you that merchandise is a myth and does not exist here.
Don't even ask our Lord and Savior Demon about it ever again.
So, Peroty 2.0, what do you say we roll those opening titles and get on with the show, so Night Demon can get on with editing our 1.0 versions to make them sound competent?
Why, yes, Noble 2.5. Let's do that.
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter, Destiny 2 podcast, a show dedicated to bringing you the latest intel, the mightiest news, and the boldest opinions from the farthest reaches of the Sol system. Whether you're a bright-eyed new Guardian, fresh from the Cosmodrome, or a battle-hardened veteran of the Red War, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and tower-worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and revel in the glory of the fight. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
So I have almost made it to the end of the campaign this week. I've gotten to the message, which I did have to look up and go, how many of these have I done? What's the next thing? Where do we go from here?
Yes.
I'm sitting here going, I must have done enough of these. I fought what felt like, sort of like the mid campaign checkpoint, like, fight. I feel like I've gotten through this. I'm like, I must be toward the end. So I went and looked and I was like, okay, yes, the message is the last one. Now I have not done any of the 27 story side quests, which I would want to do, and I'm excited to do. But I wanted to get the campaign done first, which I'm assuming once I do the big campaigny bits, then it'll be like, hey, here's your new fancy hammer throwing exotic, and then you can move on with your life.
Yeah, and that's how it works. So yeah, welcome to the show. We're talking about Destiny this week because that's what we do all the time. And we have our guest with us who actually accepted the invitation and remembered yesterday that he was invited, double checked the time and went, oh yes, I do remember that I was going to say I was going to come on, and then he has come. He's here. That's it.
Really? Bully me.
Man,
welcome, Noble.
The legend. He who did not break himself streaming 24 hours this year.
I did not break myself streaming for 24 hours this year. It was pleasant.
Excellent.
But you did kind of cheat. There was a little bit of Destiny downtime. I did see a little bit of Fortnite just about to be played, and I had to get in there and go, no, it's back up. Get on Destiny. Yes. That's what you promised the people.
Yes, you did. And
to
be fair, I went straight back on Destiny.
He did.
I did see that the fact that you hadn't prepared yourself for if Destiny did go down, that you had another game. We had to sit and look at your desktop and wait for you to re-download Fortnite to then go, hang on a minute, don't go on that because Destiny's now back. It took that amount of time.
Yep.
Did make me laugh.
Yep. Well, the thing is the Fortnite man that I have, who's in the clan with us, so he is my Fortnite man who tells me everything about Fortnite, did not tell me that there was an update. It's like, you're meant to be the Fortnite man. He is you of Fortnite.
Well, I'd like to defend the me of Fortnite and say that literally every time I turn my Xbox on, there is an update for Fortnite. And I'm going, what are you doing now? What is taking so much time and effort? And I said to my son, I say, why is there about 20,000 downloads? Because after it updates, it then does another update. And I'm like, what is happening? He goes, it's every day. I'm like, so you're not on top of this? He's like, yeah, that's why I come and play on your Xbox because it's faster. I'm like,
I refuse to believe that you've changed Save the World in any way that requires a 12 gig update for it. I'm sorry, I simply don't believe it.
Well, they do. They do. They change the position of where it is, so you then have to ask your 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 11-year-old to come and find it for you, and they go, "Oh, it's here. It's always been here." No, from the last time I turned it on, that was not there. Don't lie to me.
I've never played Save the World.
Well, you should. It's really good.
Well, the world's not
Apparently
safe.
so. Yeah, you two keep saying about it. You know.
Yeah.
Parody's been trying to.
I mean, that's why we bought the game way back in like 2017, 18, whatever it was, before the Battle Royale became a thing. And that's why, as we discussed last week, which I don't know if it made the show or not, that I have the skin that is the envy of my nephew, because it's for like a founders pack thing for buying the game before Fortnite became what every child in the world believes Fortnite to be. So yeah, we are not only day one alpha vets Fortnite. Yeah, we're also
that was when we went and actually bought other games apart from Destiny, and we were like, oh, there's another exciting game. You remember that time that we actually both had Halo 5, and because Destiny was down, we went, should we play Halo 5? And we went, yeah, let's play Halo 5. We played it for about 5 minutes and went, it's not Destiny.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
The addiction runs deep.
Does.
You make a commitment to a game and you carry out that
develop a podcast,
and your wife looks at you and then it's just like, you're playing this a decade later? She's like, you're still playing this, huh? Mm-hmm. There's new things all the time.
They don't believe you. People who see us playing all the time go, really? You talk about it every week. What is there to talk about every week? It's like, you do not know the Destiny drama if you don't know the Destiny drama. Every week there's drama. Oh, if there's not drama, there's some news, and then the drama comes. Or there's no news, there's no drama, but there's a scandal.
Yep.
Just constant.
So true. You think television shows are full of drama and intrigue and scandal? No. You've seen nothing until you've seen a live service video game run for a decade.
Yes. So much fun.
You like watching your soap operas. I like partially living my soap opera. That's the only difference.
One of the characters.
I want to be in the soap opera. What can I say? These are the days of our Destiny lives. Welcome to Destiny General Hospital.
Oh dear. What is it this week? We have news, we have drama, and controversy. I guess it's a new one added. Well, just not new one, but just always.
I mean, when is there? I mean, I think controversy comes along with the other two. It is sitting passenger seat in the car with both news, drama, and everything else. But I think this week we have everything. I think we have all of the above.
More than once.
Yeah, at least. So where even does one begin?
Should we start with the drastic decline of Destiny's player base? Because I think we need to address that to start off with.
Asterisks that are playing on Steam?
Possibly, yes. Yeah.
That's part I always find a little irritating about these. Oh my god, these people aren't playing. That's only on Steam.
Yeah.
Some of us have played this game for a long time on consoles.
And I know true to the consoles.
Yeah, like again, wow. I understand, that the Steam charts are there and you can see, and it's an easy way to pull up and go, oh my god, this is, it's easy to rage farm if you can look at the Steam player count and go, oh man, lots of people are playing the game on Steam this week. Now they're over here, they're doing this. And how many people are on PlayStations and Xboxes also playing? How many people are on the Epic Game Store? How many people are on the Microsoft Store? All those other things we listed when they were saying here's how to get your download. How many people are there?
Nobody.
Zero. None of us are playing anywhere else. It's just Steam. Steam or bust.
How many of us have played in multiple places?
Right. How many of those people are
just me then? Yeah.
Demon's still waiting for Stadia to come back.
I love Stadia. I could play Stadia at work. It was that good.
I always forget you used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What, play Stadia?
While at work, yeah.
Yeah. We did trials whilst I was on the work internet.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
I was just trying. I was remember. I was like, we played something in game at work, and it worked somewhat well.
Yeah. But yeah, Destiny drama this week. Just
Yeah, no one's playing the game anymore. It's completely
No,
dead.
I
There's
mean-
zero players. No one ran the day one. No one's playing trials. No one's farming loot. No one's making content. It's dead. It's too bad that no one's playing anymore.
no, but I mean, is it because of the launch window in the middle of the summer? I mean, you have over there. You've got your summer break, haven't you? Your, whatever it is called.
Yeah,
Busy.
yeah,
Everyone's busy.
yeah.
And it's right in the middle of holiday season
Mm-hmm.
or vacation season, whichever.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think the thing is that, I mean, the player base that has been here and consistently been playing the game for 10 years have grown up with the game. And even us as long-term veteran players, our lives have changed so much that we can't dedicate a whole week to just sitting and playing. We have family responsibilities. And you see that with with the streamers and things where they've grown up streaming this content. They now oh, we're going on holiday. We're now doing this. We're now doing that. It's like people that have played this game for so long are now kind of finding out that us older gamers, we have to have breaks. We have to spend time with the family. And unfortunately, if you release your game in the middle of summer, it could possibly have a knock-on effect of not everybody's playing it all the time, especially on Steam, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would wager also that your player base that is now older may have gravitated towards Steam from consoles. I would guess younger people who are playing things on consoles versus PCs. I mean, who knows? Yeah, I have no numbers for this. I'm just assuming. Hey, if you've got the money to dedicate to a nice gaming PC, that's probably what you're doing. Versus if you have, say, a dozen kids, you've got consoles for all of them, and maybe a gaming PC. But there's lots of people playing console. And there's also those of us who have been around the game long enough. Yeah, we've grown up with this. Our lives are very different than when we started playing this. And are also at the point going, okay, you're going to drop the thing. It may have a great day one, may have a great week one. But honestly, all the people who are struggling and striving and dealing with bugs day and date, and the first week it comes out, just wait 2 or 3 weeks. Wait for the first couple of patches.
Yeah,
you'll be playing a very different game. Maybe better, maybe worse. No, you won't get to take advantage of this broken thing or that broken thing, or maybe you could run this mission a bunch of times to do a quick power level. Yeah, like there's some things you will quote unquote miss out on, but there's also a lot that'll be fixed, a lot that'll be tuned. This is still Bungie saying we revamped the core underlying everything of your game, and now we're going to throw it out into the world for all of you to play. There's going to be issues. There's going to be tuning issues. Like, they're going to make changes. So everyone who's struggling with the terrible grind, wait a week or two, see if it's still a terrible grind, or if they're like, oh, they made this significantly better because these numbers, were never going to work.
I think that's the thing. Also, the thing, isn't it? Because Bungie have decided to do all of these kind of changes to the game to not necessarily make it Destiny 3, but change it in a way that it takes a lot of time to kind of make all these changes. And it's like having Destiny 2 again. It's like going from Destiny 1, like where we left the final shape for Destiny 2, and going to Destiny 3. And it's the same from going from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. It was a Destiny 1 in our kind of minds and rose-tinted glasses was in a fantastic shape, and everybody loved it at the end. And then when we went to Destiny 2, it was like, what is this? What have you done to us? There's all these changes, and we're like, ugh. I know it hasn't kind of helped it still be continuously in Destiny 2. I mean, by their own admission, they kind of tried to change the director and make it duller to kind of force players to go to the portal and play with the portal and just be on the portal. And it's like, that's not what we want as kind of Destiny players. We wanted to kind of go to the director, and then we want to choose where we want to go from there. But I see this as that they're kind of this releasing it in the summer is probably a good plan for them in overall, because if you think about it, when we get to the actual release of actual content that's coming, we've got the Ashen Iron, which is also then bringing back the Iron Banner, and then we've got the Renegades, it comes in December, is kind of a good time to release Destiny stuff. I mean, the original Destiny was released in September, and I tend to kind of think that if you release your games in September, October, November, December, when people are actually staying in, you do find that more people are playing them. So maybe it's a tactical thing that Bungie have decided that we'll release the game in July with the overall changes to the game. And that will give us enough time to kind of, people can still play. We won't really care about the low players because we are fundamentally changing the game overall. But then when we actually come to putting the content in and ramping it up and making sure that people can play, will be the time that people are normally in and playing the game. And hopefully, at that point, the word will get around and people will say, oh, have you tried Destiny 2? It's fantastic. The changes they made in July, they've, expanded on and they've made the game better. And this content is amazing. And we'll go from there. I think it is tactical because of all the other things that they've kind of put in the game. I mean, we're getting to kind of people moaning about the grind for 400 power level later, but it's just, what do you guys think about why and the lower player base?
I think just too many of us have made the mistake of having children now, and we just haven't got.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but it's.
And then you've got poor Peroty sat over here with no kids, and he's just like, "But all my friends now have children, so now in effect I have nobody to play the game with because they've all been selfish and had kids."
Then you've got to compete with the children for a game.
Yeah,
time.
It's no good. We should have all just not had children. That's what I'm hearing is the problem, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's like dropping again. It's like dropping things in the summer. I'm sort of with you. I sort of like the fall drops because people in the summer, people are taking time off. They're going to the beach. They're going on vacations. If they're going to be taking trips, at least in this country, if you're going to be taking trips, you're going to take your week off or your 2 weeks in the summer, and you're going to book your beach vacation or take the family somewhere or whatever. You're not going to be sitting here grinding Destiny, or you're going to be at cons. You're going to be down in Orlando at GCX, or like I'm seeing like Datto and Fallout folks being like, so I did this and we grinded and then we did the raid and now I'm in Florida and I don't know what happened and I haven't slept in like 2.5 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're doing that and then they're not playing the game. So they're down meeting other humans in real life. People are going to events, going out to concerts, going to movies. Like this is, you're competing against Superman and the Fantastic Four and everything else. All the big summer blockbusters. Like this is not peak. Sitting in the house gaming time. Wait till the weather gets bad again. Wait till it gets colder. People will be inside. Yeah. And for everybody who's, you're again, there's those of us who are going to play Destiny because that's our comfort game. That's we're here. We're here playing Destiny. We, buying the expansion is not a question of if, but a question of when. We're here, but we're also, I'm not 400 light. I haven't maxed on everything I can do. I'm not going, you guys said this will be available right when the new content came out. I'm like, bro, I'm sitting here at 147. Like I most of the way through the campaign, I've taken some little sort of breaks to do some of the, the Pinnacle stuff, played a couple Gambit matches, done a handful of PvP matches just to sort of get a taste of how things feel. Like I'm not a day one raider. I'm not trying to grind through anything. I'm not trying to, get my light maxed out the first week and then go, well, now I'm bored. What do I do? Go play another game. Like there's so much in this game that I have yet to experience and yet to enjoy. And I know Bungie is going to continue, to release things. Like they said, there's new stuff coming to the portal. That's the whole point. Like, you can play this game and max it out and then you're going to take a break. You're going to step away. That's just the nature of the beast. It's not a game you can play 8 hours a day forever. Unless you're trying to do trials carry.
Well, you can, and you can play competitive and you can play Crucible. But then I think with a lot of people, like I'm seeing from Grenada Jake, he goes and plays Trials or he goes and plays competitive Crucible and he finds the cheaters automatically. And I think part of that is to do with where you're playing those game modes. It's like, well, you're on PC. It's easily manipulated on PC. You come to console and you very rarely find cheaters.
You just get beaten by people who are better than you.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like even when I play on PC, I've never stumbled across a cheater.
Yes, but I think
that's because I'm supremely bad at PC.
Yes, I was going to say, I think it's because of the level that you're playing at.
Trying to say rubbish.
No, I'm saying that the cheaters, because they manipulate the system, they can play those higher level players and really frustrate them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like no one's cheating to play, or I mean, no one should be cheating to play control matches. No one's cheating in control. No one's hopping into quick play and going, let me hone my cheats because any reason. Yeah, they're going into they're going to trials. They're trying to get their either go to their flawless or just going and saying, I'm just going to ruin people's flawlesses. I'm just going to be the blocker in front of them.
They just want to ruin people's day.
Right, yeah. They just want to be miserable, or they just want to, cheat on the content and go, yeah, I'll get caught sooner or later, but whatever. Or then come online and go, my account got banned for no reason. Bungie goes, you did a whole lot of code of conduct things against multiple people. We have receipts. So no. Which I did enjoy I'm trying to day one raid and my account got banned for no reason. Bungie's just like,
no reason?
There's a reason. There's many reasons. We could tell you, but we're not going to because you already know what they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I mean, that's one of the things that keeps, I mean, again, like, other than not wanting to, doing PC gaming through the 90s and not wanting to keep up with PC upgrades, that's one thing that I'm happy to go, I'll buy a console every couple of years. It's a box I can turn on to play my video games with, and then that's it. And as a benefit, I get a little better cheater protection and some, other stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not running it at the most possible frames, and there's tons of stuff I can't do, but honestly, for playing my fun little shooter game, it works beautifully.
Yeah.
The problem with people moaning about content is if Bungie had laid everything on us all at once and said, here it is, here's your content, bang, just this great big drop of stuff, people would have complained it was overwhelming.
Or we would be hearing the exact same complaints just a week or two later once they grinded through all of that too. The people who are going to be sitting here at 400 at this point or at 399 complaining they're stuck are going to be the same people complaining no matter if it's week 2, week 4, week 6, however long it took them to absolutely no life grind everything in the game. Yeah. No matter how long it takes. It's not that, the amount of content will make that better or worse. If you're going to sit here and absolutely grind every last bit of marrow out of, suck the marrow out of every bone in this game, you're gonna be unhappy when you hit the end of it, whenever that comes.
Yeah, but if they'd have just dropped everything on us all at once, everybody would have complained that it was too overwhelming. There's too much. Why have you done this? Why have you done that? Why have you done the other? So they've held some back a little bit, and we'll drip feed you this content to an extent. People are still complaining.
Right. I mean, Bungie was very clear. This will be a grind. You will grind. This is what we're doing. With all these changes. We're resetting you. This is a grind from 0, from 10. Yeah. The people who are somehow confused about that, I'm going, no, they were very clear in all the streams and I mean, again, if you're not watching streams, if you're not, reading Twitch, if you're not, hearing what they are telling you, then maybe you've, came into this very confused. Yeah. If you had stepped away from Destiny and your buddy's like, hey, new Destiny drops coming out. Hey, everything's gonna be free for the next week. Let's go play some Destiny for good old time's sake. And you're like, great. I could see those people absolutely being gobsmacked going, what happened? I had this whole vault of things. I used to be this light level. Now I'm powerless. And there's all this other, there's so many new systems. Those people I can absolutely see being, walking back into Fortnite after 6 years going, what happened? Not knowing how this game has changed, but they were very upfront with this is what's going to happen. You are going to grind your face off. This is going to be very grindy. Either buy your ticket and hop on the ride or say, hey, this is where I get off the ride. And
they gave you the perfect opportunity to get off the ride for this as well. It's not like they brought all this in for the final shape where they were finally ending the 10-year saga that a lot of us and a lot of players did sign up to that 10-year saga. So it's not like they did this year 9 for for the final shape and said, oh, here now we're going to dump all this on you. No. They let us have the end of the story and then said, you've had the end of that story. Now we're going to dump all this on you and we're going to start a whole new story.
Yeah, and again, I don't fault anybody for saying, hey, I'm done. This isn't for me. I mean, this game has changed very much. From I think what it was. Yeah, it's still the same core game. It's still, the gunplay feels good and I'm running around shooting aliens, but there's so much that has drastically changed that, if this is the time where you say, hey, I'm done, I'm good, that's fine. And also, are we looking at numbers compared to, again, when the entire content drop was free for the first week. Those last 2 weeks, we had 2 weeks of every single bit of content being free in the game. So of course those numbers are going to look higher. Are we seeing this big drop because of all the free people are no longer playing, or maybe are going to purchase but haven't? This context free. Oh my god, the player numbers are down. And
who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't care how far down the player numbers go, because I'll still sign on and I'll still play the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were
That's what I'm
saying
gonna do.
it's like we were saying week one. Hey, this has been a really smooth launch. Maybe it's because there's like a third of the players or whatever. Yeah, maybe. But sometimes at the end of the day, does that mean if I get a better experience, am I good with it? Yeah, I'm not here to make Bungie money. I mean, I give them their $100 a year. I buy my expansion. I buy all the seasons. I say, give me everything. I want everything. I give you that money, and then I play hundreds or thousands of hours of that content. And I'm very happy with that trade-off. I'm not here to figure out how they can get more players. I'm here to say I'm having a good time. This is working for me. I've had a great experience with this. So
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I was doing some. I tried to do some maths. It was difficult. It's tough doing maths. I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no. And I was trying to work out how much I've spent on Destiny 2 since it came out. So that includes buying all the base game, all the DLCs, things like that. You know what I mean? And of course, I've bought them on the PlayStation and I've bought them on the PC. And I was trying to work it all out and whatnot. And I added it all
sad
up.
and
I got a little bit sad. And then I divided it by how many hours I've got logged into this game to
and then you
work
got
out
happier again.
Yeah, to work out how much it had cost me. I think I worked it out to be about 70 pence an hour. Now, I don't know, in this day and age, what I could do for 70 pence an hour.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, all this, and again, and like all this talk on the, I'm sure your, sort of games journalism has been the same about this, the rise of the $80 video game and and all this. I'm like, depending on the game, that's not crazy. When I was a kid buying Super Nintendo games with my brother, we would pool our allowances and say, okay, which $50 or $60 video game are we going to buy this month or this, couple of months because we haven't, we have just enough to do this.
Mm-hmm.
The game, to go out and buy a game for $50 or $60 in this day and age where everything, I mean, movie tickets. Look at movie tickets have quadrupled in price. I mean, I used to be able to spend $20, go to a movie, go to the McDonald's, get a burger, and a meal, go see the movie, and have enough money for tickets and a drink at the movie, or and popcorn, and just be done for $20. And now $20 barely gets me in the door to the movie. Like what? I mean, it in a lot of ways it's an incredible steal. Now I'm not saying every game needs to be $80. There's I'm going to play this and be done with it in a weekend, or I'm going to play through your campaign and kind of be done with it. That game should be $80. I don't know, but a game where there's components where you could play this for hundreds, thousands of hours. That's not crazy. That's not unreasonable.
No, it's
and
not.
Yeah, and your 70 pence an hour is over thousands and thousands and thousands of hours across 2 platforms.
Yeah,
it's like that's again, it's like when looking at the price, you're paying $100 for that game. Well, yeah, like looking at this is the thing I do. Yeah, that's not crazy at all.
Yeah, I mean, like you're talking about going to the movies and things like that. Like I don't go out. I don't go to the movies. I don't do it. I've no interest in going to the movies. I love to watch films, but you know what? I'll wait for them to be released so I can sit and I can watch them at home in the comfort of my own house. I don't go to the movies. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I just sit at home and enjoy my video game. So therefore, it's a really sad life. But
I play Destiny, and that works.
Yeah, that works for me. It's what I like to do. It's where my downtime is. So whether it's $100 and I pour, 100 hours into it, or if it's $100 and I pour 4,000 hours into it, I don't care. It's what I want to do. It's where I'm happy. Just if you're not happy, tag out, go away, see you later. Just stop trying to make it a miserable place for everybody else.
But I think the problem is that with with content creators, there's nothing else to talk about, is there, apart from the Destiny fatigue and the people that, the grind is really hard and people don't like doing the grind. It's like, why are we talking about this week 2? Week 2 of an expansion. Nobody, well, I say nobody, people can be, but nobody should be 450 at this point. Nobody should really be 450. And it should be, we're not necessarily cheated. You used a couple of game exploits. That's fine because they were there and you used them at the time. Don't moan about them when they're removed. But at the end of the day, Bungie did explain we were going to go from 10 light up to 200 and then from 200 to 450. And then in September, then we can go from 450 up to 550. It's like, what did you expect? The guns that you get now, the armor that you get now is going to be okay. And it's going to be the new system. And you're going to get time and a chance to kind of use these and get used to it. And if you play the game regularly, you'll get the stuff to drop. And then as you progress through the levels and you get higher and higher tier, then you can get even higher tier. And it's like, but people are moaning week 2 that they're not getting tier 4 and 5 gear to drop, even though they're grinding. I played the day 1 raid, I played the contest mode, and all I got was tier 1 and 2. And go back, play the game, level yourself up, do whatever way you want to kind of do. You don't have to know life playing Encore for the next 6 hours just to get a couple of drops to then progress your life. Play the game normally, how Bungie intend you to kind of play it. Play it. They said you can level up in Crucible if you wanted to. If you just wanted to play Crucible all the time, go and play Crucible all the time. If you want to go and play Strikes all the time, but do it via the portal, and then you will get the drops. I mean, use the way that the portal's set up to get the different drops to help you progress even faster. But it's not a race. It's not a race to get to 450. At the end of the day, the game has now been set up for you to play the game and enjoy kind of getting those drops and looking at those drops and going, well, okay, this looks better than that one. And maybe if I kind of, this one's got it's a tier 2 and the perks are really good. And maybe I'll keep that weapon until I can kind of find a tier 4 or 5 that I can then replace it with. And it's like, that's the kind of game now. It's like, it's really frustrating to hear people complain about not being 450 and then not getting the tier 4 and 5 drops. And I should be getting. Why should you be getting?
Yeah.
Yes, you've played a hard thing. I understand that you've played a hard thing, but you got a day 1 emblem or you got stuff from that raid so that when you go back and play that raid again, you have then a chance to get higher tier gear. And if you go back again, you get higher tier gear. There are more chances for you. The way that they've kind of set it up, you complete different encounters, you do different things, and the challenges or the triumphs that you kind of get help you unlock higher tier gear. You shouldn't be guaranteed higher tier gear walking in there day 1 at I'm 150 light. Yes, I only needed to be 100 to get in there or whatever it was to get in there. You shouldn't then be guaranteed gear at tier 4 and tier 5. You should just be getting the gear that is kind of at your level. Now, if, say, for instance, we get to Renegades, everybody's then at 200. If you get to 200, I'm guessing that's the kind of the benchmark. You have to get to 200 at minimum. So that you then start at 200. We then only have a grind from 200 to 450, which is a little bit better than for going from 10 to 450. And then for the other half of Renegades, you then have the 450 to 550. And at that point, people would then be playing from 200 to 450. And you may Bungie may kind of make it a little bit better. But for now, we're kind of running with what they've kind of set up that, you play the game, you grind, you get your stuff and you get higher tier gear. But it's going to get better as the game kind of progresses. And you shouldn't naturally, I think we've got trials coming up next weekend. The amount of moaning that I can foresee now that people are going, I've got a flawless card and I've only got tier 1 and tier 2 gear. It's like, yes, you have. Because you know what? You haven't grinded to get to the 450 to guarantee yourself to get the tier 4 and 5s. Because that's what Bungie said you'd have to do. The idea is to play the game and get that.
Yeah, play the game, get the reward. Yeah, I mean, I saw someone online, responding to people moaning, going, Destiny players are like, I paid your thing, I paid for the heavy crossbow. Where's my heavy crossbow? No, you paid for the content to get the chance to earn the heavy crossbow from playing. Again, just using the heavy crossbow as an example. Extrapolate that out to anything. No, you paid for the game to play the game for a chance to earn the drops the game could provide to you. You are not owed anything. Bungie doesn't owe you a tier 5 drop because you spent 80 hours playing in the first 7 days. This Bungie owes you nothing because you decided to do 6 months of content in a day. You just ruined the game for yourself. You just said, "Hey, I'm going to play all of this all at one time," and now what? Well, go do something else. Play at a normal pace.
Yeah.
Our bar of looter shooter to like MMO. The sort of like goes back and that pendulum sort of swings back and forth every couple of years. We're now sort of going back in more of the MMO side of, hey, you're gonna start here and work your way up here. Then we're gonna reset you. You're gonna start your way here and work your way up here. You're not gonna be able to take that gun that you got 18 years ago and use it for every single activity forever. Yes, it will still be good for a while. No, we're not going to take it from you. We're not going to delete it from your vault. But also, go get new things. Like the new weapons I've been playing with, I've really enjoyed. Have I gone back to some of my old favorites to do the campaign? Yeah, absolutely. But that's only in the last 2 or 3 missions of it. I did most of it with the new weapons that were dropping because I wanted to play with them. Now, granted, one was also extremely broken. So yes, I was going to use that one because I'm not a fool. But just there's so much good stuff to go play with and interact with. Like, I've been really enjoying the new guns. I picked up my 20 tokens from Ada to go get 20 free exotics. Just free exotics. Here you go. Have 20 of them. Bungie didn't have to do that. They could have said, "Hey, this is a new system. Go grind for new exotics." But they said, "Hey, we're going to give you 20 tokens. Hand them into Ada 1. You're going to get 20 exotic drops out of that. You're going to get 20 things to sort of get you started. Here's your starter pack for things are new. Good luck." Like, that stuff Bungie doesn't have to do. And I've seen no one talking about that. Like, I picked up the tokens partially because I haven't decided what exotics to invest in, but also I want to understand, all the numbers a little bit better. Which stats which stats now that we're seeing them in the game are really worth investing into? What should I try to get that 200 stat in? Is it worth going to 200 in anything? Could I get, just as good an experience at 180 or 150 or, what is that magical point of, hey, get your number up to this, and you're going to get most of the experience where it's not really worth it, above that. Like all the PvP numbers. I'll get your resilience up to 6.5 or 7 or 8 or whatever, because going all the way to 10 doesn't offer you as much of a benefit. Like that's kind of what I'm waiting to unlock and play with and build craft around and enjoy. Of just where should those numbers sit? Because now that they've all changed, where should I invest? What stat should I really build into? I should, what should I be slapping on my ghost bond saying, "Oh, give me weapons. No, give me health. No, I really want to do class." And I'm excited to play with, hey, I can say I can max out my melee to something absurd and ridiculous, and I can roll with that. What trade-offs am I making? What is that game going to feel like? There's so much here to explore that's not just race to a highest light level number, And it's so frustrating seeing all the moaning about, well, I raced to the highest light level number and now I'm sad. Well, do something else. Play the rest of the game.
Buildcraft.
Right. Yeah, and there's a number of people, I guess I'll engineer, one of them being like, I'm going to hold off on build crafting too much until things sort of settle down and Bungie, sort of figures out, where are these numbers going to sit. Whereas Plunder the Booty said, hold my pirate flag. Here's 1,000 builds. Have fun. Good luck. Because that dude has been on fire this week putting stuff out. That again, I'm excited to play. I'm excited to get the exotics. There's a bunch of exotics I no longer have because I deleted them because I never had a good roll of them. That now I'm excited to go get. I'm excited to go pick up and play with and enjoy now that they've been revamped. Like there's so much, I've been running the same, Arc Titan build forever, and I'm still carrying it through the campaign because it's working for me. But I'm so excited to go play with other stuff because of all the changes, to all the other exotics and the classes and how things are interacting. Like everything feels so new and so fresh, and it's so frustrating to hear people being like, "I'm done, I'm bored, there's nothing here." Like, what?
Yeah, there's so much.
I played for 24 hours, and honestly, at the end of the 24 hours, I felt like I could have played for another 24 hours and had still not finished doing what I wanted to actually do.
Yeah, but you're not playing and exploiting the game. You didn't spend those 24 hours playing the encore mission to level yourself up to then moan at the fact that you spent those 24 hours.
But that's what I mean. Like, you know, if you're going to sit there and do dumb stuff like that, well, it's your problem, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I have done dumb stuff before. I have kind of vaguely remember sitting in the Whisper mission, shooting, hiding down that little corridor with the unlimited thrall, doing something to get something. I'm like, I've been doing this for hours, but and who can forget Omnigul? You know, the the farm in Destiny 1. I mean, the amount of times that I played that.
Double killing Omnigul for twice the amount of drops out.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it may not, it's not going to be fun for everybody. But if there was something at the end of it, like if you were getting your light up to X amount, but then don't moan that you've then spent X amount of time doing that. It's like, I don't know what you expected, to be honest.
That was your choice. That was your decision. you made your decision to sit in Encore for 6 hours. You can't be mad that they're going to turn off Encore, or that you didn't have a good time sitting in Encore for 6 hours.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the thing is like it's the difference. Like, this sitting and doing dumb stuff for 6 hours, and then this sitting and doing dumb stuff and then complaining because you sat and did dumb stuff for 6 hours. Like, there's still so much of the game to explore. Like, I still can't work out how to get to so many of the collectibles that I can see. I'm like, there's a collectible right there. I can see you. How do I get to you? I'm like, I spent 24 hours playing it. You know what I mean? And I was still looking at them like, I need how me being me. I am refusing to go to YouTube and look at a video because I'm not doing it, because it's in that game. And why play a game if you're going to let YouTube play it for you? I'm not doing it. Nope.
I think that also goes back to the old, like, I think we did say it a couple of weeks ago, or many weeks ago, about when you bought a game back in whenever we kind of 80s, 90s, back even up early 2000. It was like, you bought the game, you got the game. That was it. You may get a manual with it, but you couldn't go online to look up this stuff. You couldn't. YouTube didn't exist at that point. You got the game. You paid. I mean, I remember having to pay like 50, 60 pounds for a game, and that is it. You got that game. You know, there was no, Bungie are going to then patch it like many years later, even when we had like PS2 online at some point, and the Dreamcast online and different things. But it was like, you got the game, you dealt with what you got with the game, and you paid that price. And nowadays you pay that price a little bit more. Let's face it, you know, you are getting a little bit more for what we are paying, but then you expect heaven and earth from those companies of what they should do after the selling you the game. It's like, I do get, like, maybe we should move to a subscription model, but again, I think, you know, players these days expect way too much from Bungie and other companies. You know, where's our weekly blog? Why are you not explaining this? Why are you not doing that? It's like, well, you've paid them your money. Where do you think that money is going? You know, they're not just sitting around going, oh, let's dream up something else. They are working on the game. It's just that they're not getting a constant revenue from everybody kind of paying for the game monthly. There's that one payment, and then they have to pay people to work on the game.
Yeah. Well, it's like Peroty saying earlier on that, you know, like, he pays his $100 a year and then that's it. It's done. See you later. There's my year's worth of gaming done. Well, if you think about that logic, that's not even $10 a month.
That's not enough to support anything.
No,
anything. I mean that's what, you know, people moan about the apps on their phone. Why is this a subscription now? Why is this a subscription? Because you paid your $2 or your $5 or maybe your $10 for that app that you're now going to use forever for however many thousands of hours.
Yep.
And it took that developer how many hours to make the game and support the game? Oh, a new OS release comes out for your phone. You now have to support it and fix bugs and continue to,
Yep.
It's like this is work that's going on and on and on. And you paying your one price for it. It's like, well, yeah, you paid for a tiny piece of this development. You're not even paying to keep the servers on to play the game with the money we're paying for it. I mean, that's that, so yeah, just the I paid for this. Why do I not have everything? Why aren't you going to tell me exactly? Yeah, why aren't you going to tell me when every release is coming out? When you said these things would be in the portal day one. No, we said it will come after the release. You, human gamer, know that we put a big release out. What always happens? There are bugs, there are changes, things change. Like I don't remember if it was DMG or Destiny 2 team saying one of the threads, like, this is the risk of communicating things early to you all. You all say, we want to know, tell us. So we tell you, and then surprise, 6 months later, things have changed, or 3 months, or again, however long it's been, things have changed because it's a big company, things are complex, and now things have changed, and you're upset that, well, you said this was going to happen. No takesy backsies. You said, like, yeah, we said, and then things changed, because that's how the world works. Like, people getting mad over, oh, you told us this was going to happen. And then, again, it was DMG or Destiny 2 teams saying, yes, and we follow that directly with this quoted line, this is an early look. This is subject to change. Yeah. You have to read the entire article. You can't just cherry pick the line you want and say, no, you said.
It's because
it happens every time.
Want black and white, and it's like the world isn't black and white. This whole grey area, where sometimes, these timelines and promises can't always be kept.
Right. And it happens
because something comes up.
Yeah.
And, like something that we thought would only take 4 hours takes 400. And how many times do you guys sit here talking about the absolute mess the coding for this game must be?
Yep.
So as soon as you start throwing something else in, like that coding.
I mean, we're not saying that it's a get out clause for Bungie of, if the game is messed up, they're not doing something. Yeah, ultimately call them out on it, but don't be, I mean, I even heard people moaning about the day one raid race that Fallout tweeted that, we've got to a damage phase, and it's only, the first damage phase, we only did 3% of the damage. By my calculations, it'll take like 33 damage rotations. And then Bungie tweeted back only 33, like being really snarky. But they're not being snarky. I think they were just messing about, just having a bit of fun, like only 33, it's a joke. It's not snarky for the fact that they're winding you up. And yes, you're a content creator. I think they're just trying to have fun. It's not like.
Do you not think humor's lost on gamers sometimes?
I do. They see humor, or they see a comment, and they that's snarky. But it could be humor. know.
Yeah. Bungie is not sitting around their studios in Washington State, sitting here going, "How can we screw over players next? No. How can we suck the fun of the game?" They're making a video game. They want you to buy the video game. They want you to play the video game they've worked really, really hard on. They want you to enjoy the story. They're not sitting here going, "Here's how we're going to lie, cheat, and steal to our player base. We're gonna show those gamers. We're gonna tell them one thing and then purposely lie to them." Like, I'm sorry, are you a child? I mean,
they're all sat in their office right now, mate, having a big dance, drinking a coffee, laughing.
Yeah,
just how much money we just did out of all those lot. This is so funny. Yeah, that's what we're all doing because they've got nothing better to do with the time.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, are you a child? I mean, in some cases, yes, fair. Some of you were children.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I basically look at some of these comments and I'm like, are you 12? Because I mean, my nephew has a greater degree of maturity and understanding than some of you seem to about how games work and how the world happens and how you don't always get what you want. I'm like, it just blows my mind. Just some of the, and I mean, I've stayed I do my best to stay away from, again, comment sections, Reddit as a whole, except for things Bungie has actually responded to, because it's
useful information.
It's
useful
just
information
insane,
is good.
right? Yeah, exactly. Like stuff Bungie's replied to, or again, like some of these posts of, hey, guys, we're seeing again, like Bungie said, like Engineer and others in the community have said, hey, you've done, they've done the breakdowns of, hey, you said these numbers were here. This is not what we're seeing in game, and here's the data to back that up. Not just Bungie's lying to us and they're doing this, but actually saying, hey, I've run this test, I've done this. These numbers are this, these numbers are this. This is what you showed us in the premieres, in the previews. These numbers don't seem to be right. Can we look in this? Talking to people like rational adults, not screaming at them and going, "Oh, you're lying to us." It just like. I don't understand what you expect when you treat the poor Bungie developers and staff like punching bags and then go, well, they don't want to talk to us. Well, be nicer to them. It's just their job. It'd be like if you got on the bus and just started screaming at the bus driver. The bus driver's going to be like, screw this guy. Like, I don't understand what some of these people expect. Like, have you never lived in a society? Do you not talk to people? If you talk to your parents like that, would they smack you upside the head?
Because the level of entitlement is so ridiculously high these days.
But also, again, that's
entitlement is ridiculous.
We sound so old and grumpy this week. Old men moan about video games, and I'm not saying it's the kids. To be fair, I'm not saying it's the young people. This is not me saying it's the kids. No. I'm saying these people are acting like children. Whether they're children or not is beyond the point. But they are absolutely acting like small entitled children.
Yeah.
The children, I feel like, would act better.
I don't think it's just something that's kind of evolved over time, hasn't it? This entitlement of, I should be getting this, I should be getting that. And I don't think even Bungie themselves have helped themselves over the years where we've had big content drops like Forsaken. Take Forsaken, for example. They had 2 other studios helping them out. So they were able to focus on maybe doing the main big content. And then the other 2 studios did like the little expansions after that, or the add-ons to that. And it's like they had a lot more people with a lot more ideas all working together to get this out. And it was fantastic that, Dreaming City suddenly opened up after we'd done stuff in the game. And then we were like, there's all this other stuff. And then Bungie have kind of had to cut back and various different reasons, and other things have kind of had a knock-on effect at the company and other companies across the world. It's not just Bungie that have. We also had COVID in there as well. I mean, let's not forget that COVID also had a knock-on effect to people playing games, people staying in, people spending time online. And now we've kind of come out of COVID, and it's like, well, we can now all go out again. We can all now. I know this has been many years, but I think it's had that kind of knock-on effect over the years. And then companies have gone, well, we don't need this many people. We don't need, we're not catering this to the same amount of people over the years. So that is kind of had a knock-on effect with the content that we're kind of getting and what the companies are able to deliver to us in terms of what we actually get. So along with over time with different things kind of, what we've expected from companies and then from what they've actually been able to deliver, that kind of level entitlement people have still kind of kept, but the companies have kind of diminished or, had to cut back, and people's expectations have not kind of done the same. It's we want this and we want that. We've paid for this, we've paid for that. It's like, I understand that. I understand where you're coming from, but you're not kind of taking a step back and looking at the whole picture and going, well, you know what? It's not entirely their fault.
Yeah. And I think part of it is too, companies made projections based on COVID, based on, oh, no one can go outside. Everyone's playing video games. So we sold this many things in 2020 and 2021. Well, that line's going to continue to go up. We're going to continue to make more and more and more. And there's, infinite growth. Well, no, people go outside again. People are doing other things. People are going to the movies, not playing your game, playing different games. And I think, like you said, what people could put out, productivity wise, what they could ship with the games. Also, the other things they haven't kept up with is just the projections of the CEOs going, we looked at this growth through COVID. Well, that's just going to continue, right? The line's going to continue to go up. There will be nothing that could happen to make things happen. I mean, how many game devs have we talked about putting out phenomenal games and then the entire team getting laid off? Hey, you did great work. Sorry, we're going to lay you all off now. Hey, you made Game of the Year. I mean, to say nothing of Bungie's, award-winning community support team and, phenomenal composers. Great work. We're going to let you all go now. I mean, again, and that's just, again, like you said, it's not Bungie. This is just played out again and again and again through this industry. Like, this is not a unique problem to Bungie. So it's just, hey, do more, keep this going, keep this shambling pile of game running that's been running for a decade, running on code that you all wrote for Halo, and some of these, base models that they talked about years ago, and do that with fewer people, do that. And maybe you've lost some of the people who really innately understood how some of this worked. These people who've been here a while don't just, rise up the ranks because they've been there a while. They also may have some deep, deep understanding in how this game works, how it's built, how some of these systems interact. Oh, this is why Telesto does what Telesto does. Not to invoke the name of Telesto. If it breaks the game tomorrow, you can blame me. But, there's this, this Jenga tower of changes upon changes upon changes. And it takes understanding to keep that running. It takes understanding just to know which Jenga blocks you can pull out and which ones are going to make the whole thing come falling down. And that's expertise walking out the door, or you're sending out the door. Institutional knowledge is a thing. You need people who know how the systems work. You can hire the new guy off the street, and he can be the most incredible coder game dev you've ever seen in your life. But they still have to understand the decade of work, or at least years of work, they've gone into this game and why things are the way they are. There's a reason for everything. It's not just, spaghetti code and terrible. There's a reason things are the way they are. And part of it is keeping this game going for as long as it has in the style that it is. Yeah, no, there's a couple threads that I saw and I just started reading. Cause again, it was like, okay, well, this is, if it's actual, news relating to the game, I'd like to be aware. I like to see what, what people are saying that have done the work, but then, oh man, the comments just so quickly degrade into, they're lying to us. They're doing this. They hate us. It's like, guys, really? Yeah. Come on now.
I mean, even I said, I think it was last week where I was discussing the Right of the Nine weapons, that I thought, with the way that they were selling it to us with the Right of the Nine, you get these weapons, they will be equivalent of tier 3 and blah, blah, blah. And I think we all interpreted that we were going to be able to use them in this new system. They were going to have the little blue tick emblem in the corner and say, these weapons that you kind of farmed for in the Right of the Nine will be used in this new tier system, and they'll be amazing. And they are good still, but they didn't get the blue tick of approval.
Moving forward, blue tick.
Yeah. It was like,
the new gear,
okay,
the new gear tick of approval.
Yeah.
So
I did.
Yeah, I think I just interpret it wrong.
Which is why Demon's going to release his 17-hour rant on why Bungie lied to him and why he's mad about it.
Yeah. I did touch on what you were saying though as well, though, Peroty, about people getting laid off over time and everything else, and like people that have been there for a long period of time. I did see that apparently Michael Salvatori is apparently back at Bungie.
Is he back?
Yes,
I've seen that too. I've seen. I guess there was some. I'm sure you saw the same thing. Some like behind the scenes making of. Photos seem to show him in the background. So
yes,
is he back? Is that older stuff from when he was there?
I'm not sure, but I've seen.
There's so much. Yeah, there's so much of this stuff this week where I've seen, and I'm like, but do we have a source on any of this, or did someone just say it and then 16,000 other people said it? Because the whole, not to switch gears too abruptly, but like the whole 70% of people who did the day one cheated. The number of times I saw that and could not find a single link, a single source. I'm like, where? I'm like, this is clearly something someone has put out and said. I think in some sort of official way, because it's like enough people have picked up and run with this. Like it's clearly out there somewhere. And Paul Tassi finally, I saw his article where he linked to somebody's Twitter feed that sort of was then linking to Raid Hub, and turns out Raid Hub, I think raidhub.io, is, they look at all the post-game carnage reports, which are those lovely little reports Bungie puts out after you complete an activity. And we're starting to see things like 10-minute clears, or, this guy had 300 kills. The rest of his team had 2 kills between them in a contest mode raid. It's like, that doesn't add up. So, I guess, and Bungie's basically said, we're looking into this. And I guess there's some sort of leaderboard that I guess Raid Hub or someone has put together about, hey, here are the clears, and now let's start going through and basically sort of unofficially weeding out things again that look insane. This guy got 352 kills. This guy got 6. This guy got 4. It's like, no. That looks very suspicious. So either A, Bungie's game is spitting out real garbage data, which could be the case, but I'm guessing is not, or you're doing something fishy. And just people using weapons that were on the banned weapons list, and just all sorts of things that make you go, Now, whether the number's 70% or not, I don't know. But apparently some number of people did cheat in the day one raid, or were playing on a team with a cheater in the day one raid, which I can't say I'm terribly shocked at, because given the cheaters in trials, of course people cheaters going to cheat. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
The other thing people were mentioning is Bungie also laid off a bunch of their player safety, player whatever teams that look over this stuff.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we've got people with world's first. What do they give them, belts? Something like that. We've got people with world's first belts, haven't we, that have been associated with cheaters for having cheaters on their team.
Yeah, and how did they cheat? What did they cheat? Again, I'm not here. I'm not here to legislate what cheating is right, what cheating is wrong, why, again, and asking Bungie to give details is insane. No. You don't tell the cheaters how you caught the cheaters, because guess what? It's just going to make them better cheaters.
Yes.
But is it sort of surprising? Yeah, kind of. But again, looking at all the people that cheat in trials, of course people are going to cheat in a day one raid. Of course they are.
Yeah, if you get a chance, then you're going to do it, and if you can get away with it, even better.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not being funny. It doesn't surprise me, given the state of how many cheaters there was at the end of last season, when we were seeing giant people wandering around Trials of Osiris and whatnot.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right, blatantly cheating.
Yeah.
Not just oh, let me adjust this aim a little bit. Let me give this gun a little less recoil. Yeah, giant people with models
Yeah, somebody the size of King Kong wandering around Bannerfall, am I surprised that it's carried over into this season? No. Do I think that it's more than likely that a lot of the people that were cheating last season have just carried on cheating this season, thinking, Bungie are doing a terrible job at watching us. We'll just keep it going. What's it matter, boys? Come on, let's get on train, free time, you know what I mean? And now all of a sudden it's been oh, wait a minute. So towards the end of last season, maybe they were just a little bit preoccupied with the upcoming launch, and now boys, we've been caught.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah.
Well, turns out we're a little too blatant with it.
Yeah.
And of course people are asking Bungie, what are you going to do? They're going to look at the records and they're going to ban the cheaters. It's not going to, there's not going to be a public trial. We're not going to bring them out into the town square. They're gonna look at this and say, yes, they were cheating. Bungie has the records. It's not like they need the community to tell them who the cheaters are. Maybe
it helps.
They have asked the community for a video clip or anything like that they're able to get a hold of.
But I should say. They don't need the community to tell. Yes, reporting, absolutely. They need us to help to report, because there's only so many of them and way more of us. But once the report's been made, Bungie has the tools to go in and say, no, we can look and see. We have the metrics, we have the technology, we can rebuild him faster, better. They can go and look and say, yeah, no, you were doing these things that violate the code of conduct. Exactly. They have the tools to go in and say, we can see what you're doing. We know what you're up to. You're, I wasn't doing. I don't know why I got. No, you know why you got banned.
Yeah.
And they're, like you said, they're probably a little busy trying to polish up the new game and get things done. And the bans are coming. Bungie has never brought people out into the tower and had Zavala give a speech and then ban their accounts. Like, it's going to happen. You just have to give them a minute. If 70% of these day one clears are cheating, I don't know how many people that is. I don't know how many people cleared day one, or contest mode weekend one. It's a lot of accounts to go through, and they're going to do a thorough job. You don't want them quickly banning. If one guy on an LFG fire team was cheating, should you ban the other 5? I mean, I'll say there's some gray area there, but just at impulse, no, you shouldn't just ban people because they happen to match with a cheater. If it just you want Bungie to do a good job looking over these reports, and at the same time immediately ban everybody. Like, no, those two things are not. Those two things are simply incompatible. They're going to look over the reports. They're going to ban the cheaters.
I have seen in some places, like on X, etc., people saying that if you are raiding and one of your clan members happens to have been cheating because they're a clan member,
then
at that point, you should just ban the entire team that was on that clan. If you had 4 people on your team of 6 that were from one clan, and that 2 of that clan happened to be cheating, so 2 of the 4 are cheating, but the other 2 weren't. Like, well, ban the 4.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so much. Yeah. I mean, so much is this. Like, I don't think there's a one size fits all. Who do we ban? If you're doing a raid and you complete it, and then later on, one of the guys mentioned, "Oh, hey, I've been cheating the whole time," but he wasn't carrying you. It just you got to clear. Again, I, to my knowledge, haven't been with cheaters, but how am I to know? I mean, if you're doing activity and you come to find out later, oh, but hey, by the way, I was cheating or I was running this or whatever, and it wasn't blatant enough for you to notice it. Should you be banned for that? I mean, you're just trying to play the game. You have no control over what other people do. But yeah, I mean, again, if you're cheating, ban the cheaters. Period. Full stop. No question there. Should I ban the entire fire team? That you got to look at that with a little bit more of a fine tooth comb and say, what's happening? Have these people ever played together? Is this the first time these people have been matched up? Like you were saying, if it's someone in your clan and you do this every week and you cheat every week, yeah, ban them. You obviously know what's going on. Yeah. If it's hey, I happen to get matched again. If you're playing trials and you get matched with a trials cheater, could you be banned for just being matched with that trials cheater out of the blue? No. You're not the one doing it, so.
I've been asked before, like when running with LFG through dungeons and stuff like that, if I've been cheating for sword skating and stuff like that, like when you for example, like you've been with me when I've done Prophecy Dungeon and I just skate my way down Rainbow Road instead of taking the actual stupid road. Like, I ain't going that way. No, sorry.
Prophecy or watching you lay waste to Shattered Throne. You are the Shattered Throne. Yeah. I mean, blink and you're done. Yeah, no, that's just. I mean, how many clears do you have on Shattered Throne at this point? 100 plus.
I think
200 plus. Like I know. At one point,
I think on Shattered Throne.
Yeah, I mean that you could probably do with your hands tied behind your back and one eye closed. Yeah, like there's a difference between cheating and just one knowing the content so well you blaze through it, and two, taking advantage of all the movement tech in the game. Like there's a line between I'm good at this and I'm taking advantage of what this game lets me do and cheating.
But it is, I do think in some cases, like a lot of people have got a lot of misunderstanding of what is cheating as well, because like I wouldn't want to think that someone reported me and was like, like sat in LFG, go do a dungeon, like you said, Shattered Throne, and someone reported me and were like, oh, he's cheating because there's no way he's done that. Like it's not that difficult, it's just an eager-edged sword and a set of lion rampants. It's really not that tough. So I wouldn't want to think that they were rushing anything, because if I've been asked for using something that simple, I wouldn't like to think that other people got banned for something that simple either. Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's, again, if Cheese Forever is covering it on his channel as this is a cheese in the game, that's not cheating. That is your, I mean, now, is it very broken and is Bungie going to fix it in a minute? Yeah, absolutely could be. If the thumbnail says, hey, game breaking, one-shot boss by looking in their direction, are you cheating? No, you are playing the game. is the game in a state that feels like cheating? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're, like I said, is everybody cheating who is farming Encore for double drops and, increase light and everything? No, the game's in a broken state.
No.
People are going to find what's broken and they're going to take advantage of it.
No, I mean, we've always took advantage of
doing
things that are broken, haven't we? I mean, how many times have we had situations where we've had a ball dupe?
Right.
Where you have to put a ball into somewhere, but if you start putting it in and let it get so far through and then drop it, it'll still do the animation and drop and it'll count, but you still get to keep your ball. Like used to do it in Pit of Heresy, didn't we? When we had the free ogres, and instead of having to go and kill the stupid knight 3 times, just kill one and then dance around the rest of the encounter with the one same ball because it was just easy. And then I can't think of what
players are the best QA team. Players are gonna find, again, like Froggy and others, every out of bounds spot, every place where you could skitter over a wall or jump over something. Players are gonna find every single gap that you either late on a Friday when you had to ship that that map or that feature or that patch or whatever, and you just said, that's good enough. Or my boss said, hey, I got to get this done now. I have an hour to fix this. This is as good as I can do it in an hour. Players are going to find every single instance of that, every single little oversight, every single little place.
I found so many out of bounds sections on Keplar so far.
Yeah. I mean, there's
so many.
Oh yeah. I mean, that whole area feels like an out of bound. Like the number of times I look down and go, can I go down there or no? It's really unclear. Oh no, that killed me. Okay, guess I couldn't go down there. I mean, the number of times I've gotten a little stuck saying, well, I don't know where to go, and then realizing, oh, I can probably jump down there, or I can probably jump up there, which the game has taught me. No, don't go up or down too far because it's a kill zone. No, you're basically going straight. And now we're going up and down. I'm going, but where? It feels like
it's obscure. This one, it is obscure. This one, it is much less linear than what I'm used to.
So, are you both enjoying it? Because last week we weren't really talking spoilers. So, I guess that is it fair to say that we can now talk a little bit spoilers this week for people that tuned in last week that know that we weren't going to talk about the spoilers, but
we had like 2 weeks.
I know, but even Peroty hasn't got through it officially yet. So is it good enough to kind of? Well, I mean, we don't have to talk about the end.
I mean, we
can talk about the story up to the end, I guess.
You could just talk about the bits that you've actually really enjoyed so far in the story.
Yeah,
I finished it, so I'm happy to talk about whatever. I don't mind. But if we just take Peroty's lead on it,
I mean, honestly, I've seen the end. Probably, I think watching on your stream for one of them, and then I've seen the. Again, I have been sort of binging the lore and the story this week because I'm curious and I'm interested and it's interesting. And we finally got this, Old Chicago that I feel like has been teased in the last 3 or 4 major releases. Oh, we're going to Old Chicago. Yeah. We're going to get Chicago things. And it's finally here. So I'm like, what's the deal in Chicago? Why is this guy here? When does Loki show up? When does the MCU crossover happen? Like I've been watching, basically nothing but story, lore videos and stuff this week. So I've been really enjoying engaging with the story.
Have you been watching lore videos but letting them have 5 seconds of that lore video and then skip into the next one like you do with cutscenes, or have you actually just been watching them?
No. I have been watching. We'll see. The problem with the cutscenes, I've been trying to play those out too. But even when I'm playing them, I'm often with someone. Looking to my virtual right here of Mr. Noble, I'm with someone and we're chatting about the game. So while I'm watching the cutscene, I'm not necessarily hearing the cutscene because I'm with someone and I want to have a chat. I want to have a conversation. So no, I've been watching. I've been watching Bife. I've been watching Evase. I've been watching. There's a third guy whose name I can never remember. That we'll stick in show notes. Yeah, of doing lore of just give me the things I've missed. Give me the bits and pieces. Give me the backstory. Give me what happened to Ikora? What's her whole deal? Why? How and why?
I was just going to say that one cutscene that I know that you're talking about because there was only one cutscene I was with you for. I think that was probably one of my favourite cutscenes from Destiny in quite a while. The Ikora getting in her car and taking her drive to work, and
I want this story has made me want a Destiny animated series so bad.
Yeah, so much.
I'm watching these animations going, you wouldn't have to do much. Like, this is practically, TV quality. Yes, there are some rough edges. I can tell maybe some of this was like, in-game rendered. You could smooth it out a little bit, but it looks so good. Like, and I want to hear these stories. I want to see these narratives, in order. Tell me these stories. Like, I'm watching these cutscenes going, oh, I want them. I want an animated series of this. It's so good. I mean, I really enjoy Destiny's art style. Like, the paint blot stories they do, the full like animations they do.
Yeah.
I love their style and I love the storytelling. I just want to see it in bigger chunks than, a minute here and a minute there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed the narrative. I've really enjoyed the gameplay. As frustrating as it is, I was both getting frustrated with going back into the same room I had been before. But it feels like every time I go back into a room where before I had to, had to use a Matter Spark, and then I had to use the Mattermorph, and then I had to do this. It seemed like the second time through, it was like, okay, you've done the hard part of this room. Now, hey, kill this boss and use a Matter Spark to charge these 3 generators up. Sort of, you're in the same room. You already know the layout of where you are. Now we're going to make you do things a little less mechanically intense than the first time. The first time through was sort of like teaching you where everything is. But sometimes, Noble, Demon, the number of times I have run right by a relocator, and almost got to the point of going, I'm not going to look it up. And then realized, oh, I just hadn't jumped up. Or, oh, there's a little ledge over here behind this doorway that I apparently have just never seen the 7 times I've run past it. I feel like a fool going, I know there's a relocator. I see the thing. Where is the relocator? And I just cannot find it for an embarrassingly long time. That doesn't feel good, but that's not Bungie's fault. That's my fault. I apparently just don't have eyes sometimes. I see things that are right in front of me.
They do hide things. They hide things.
I can top you on that one. On when I finished playing the story, I went and I did the exotic hand cannon mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, yeah, I'll do this. It's like, to do it, you've got to go around and you've got to scan some like piles of rubbish sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And I was running around scanning these piles of rubbish, and I was like, well, there's one there, and I need Matter Spark to get through that hole to get to that pile of rubbish.
Must be one here somewhere, right?
Where's my Matter Spark? So I was running around for at least an hour.
Oh, no.
Before realising that
Looking
you
for one, and then thinking,
transform.
I don't need to find a Matter Spark anymore, do I? I can just transform myself into Matter. Oh, idiot! And literally sitting there thinking, how stupid are you? How stupid! How did you forget that, you absolute idiot?
They showed me, they taught me, they trained me. There was a whole pop-up across the bottom half of the screen I had to dismiss 6 times before it would go away. Yeah, no, I've the number of times I've I walked in there, I've worked out, okay, I need a Mattermorph this over here. I need a Matter, seeing the pieces, but not knowing which order I need to do them in. At least finding, okay, here's my relocator, here's my Matter Spark. Okay, there must be a Mattermorph. The number of times I've run right past the Mattermorph thinking, oh, you're just some random fungi. You're not anything. Then realizing, nope, that's the thing I've been looking for the last 15 minutes to drop that thing so the boss stops killing me so I can, hit the next thing to kill the nice big Vex. Yeah, that's the one right there. That is something I can interact with. Is it glowing? Oh yeah, it's good. It's glowing. It's very obvious, but my brain goes, that's not what you need, clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than, which to be fair, this is a me problem because this happens every campaign. Like last campaign, I was doing, because I've basically been doing the same thing of just putting on, by and large, trying out new weapons, just slapping new weapons on, seeing how do they run, and with a bunch of new armor going, well, let me just try some new armor and see how that plays. And last campaign, I definitely got to the point where my resilience was like 10 because I wasn't paying any attention. I was just slapping new armor on and going, why am I dying every 6 seconds? So at least I'm paying better attention to the numbers this time, going, if I'm putting new armor on, what does that do to the numbers of my character? Am I making myself super squishy trying to go through hard content like a fool? So at least I fixed that, and now I just can't find, the obvious things I need. Where is that door meant to go through? Where is this Mattermorph thing taking me? Oh, look up at the ceiling, you donut. It's right there. All those flashing panels, that's what you've been looking for.
Yeah. I was listening last week, and Demon said something, and I was sat there, and as soon as he said it, I was like, there's another one. Well done. That was good. Good brains there. Good brain.
What did I say?
Excellent. And I was sat there and I was like, why didn't I change my Titan mark on our playthrough story instead of using my old one so that I could have the stat distribution off the new Titan mark? So I was still sat running through the entire story, just infusing new Titan marks into my old one. We've still just the 10 instead of putting one of the new ones on and having 40 or something like that. Yeah, well done, idiot. That was really well done of you. That
we gave you the new armor. We can lead the Titans to water, but we cannot make them drink.
Cannot make them drink because they'll electrocute themselves because obviously they're all arc. But yeah, as soon as Demon said it, I was just like, oh,
that's an idea. I could do that, huh?
Where were you last week, Demon?
Sorry.
You're struggling away with these rubbish stats, and you're here and don't forget, you could have an extra 40 if you do this. Oh, thank you, Demon. Thank you. Yeah, here we go.
We can fix a lot of things, but we can't fix stupid.
No, you're not fixing my level of stupid. There's not enough duct tape in the world.
I'm right there with you. Hello, I'm stupid.
The name badge.
But,
that's what he'll be calling us this week when he replaces us with AI. It'll be Stupid AI 1, Stupid AI 2.
Yeah. But I mean, sort of like we talked about. I mean, I've tried my best to get through the campaign because that's, I honestly, I sort of forget sometimes that there is the rest of the game because I get so laser focused on, no, I must do the campaign. I must go to Kepler. I must figure out the next mission. It's like, I could pop into these fire team ops things and just try them out. Like there's nothing stopping me. Like I could do that. Like I forget sometimes with the new content. So it's like, oh yeah, let me pop in here and see what happens. Let me pop in here to Gambit and just see what do I get? And the answer is in this case, weapons, old weapons, but higher light level. So if you're just like, I want to turn my brain off and farm some drops, or if there is something you're trying to get a hold of, I don't know why at this point you would, but yeah, I mean, you can just go there and say, yeah, I got a machine gun to drop that I just couldn't seem to get anything higher light level machine gun in Kepler for whatever reason. My RNG wasn't good. Yeah, like I'm getting, you're getting the older stuff to drop, but it's all infusion fuel. Again, I'm at when I say 147, 150, somewhere in that range. So it's all infusion fuel to me. It's all world armor at this point.
Were you using the focusing on Kepler?
No, not yet.
I started using the focusing, and I've got to admit, like you got, like you saying about a machine gun. Like if I started focusing for like a head, that was it. For like helmet. If I started a mission, helmet.
Head.
Well,
do I need a head today?
I mean, I think we've established that yes, we've left ours somewhere. We've taken them off our necks and set them on a desk and walked away.
Walked away. Left.
Hey, Demon, did you know you could focus armor on Kepler? Do you remember that? Because guess show of hands, if you forgot you could focus armor in addition to weapons on Kepler. I mean, armor I've actually been doing pretty well with. Armor I'm pretty consistent on. Everything's within like 2 or 3 light around themselves. But weapons have been all over the place. The number of Giver's Blessings auto rifles and Last Thursday pulse rifles I have, dear God. I have all of them. No one's getting any of them because I have them all. Some of them are good, most of them are crap, but oh man, I have all of them.
All of them, and their twin brother. But yeah, like I'd go out then and I'd be like, I'd get all the way to the mission and I'd find a box or something, and I'd open it up and I'd be like, oh, there's that helmet that I needed. I really shouldn't start this mission with the helmet still attuned. Maybe I should go back and I should swap it for I'll go back, I'll swap it for a different piece, and I'd go back and I'd swap it for a different piece, and then I'd work my way back to the mission again, which would be another 10 minutes, and you'd get there and you'd be like, right, okay, well now I'll start that mission. And you'd start the mission and the first drop you'd get, it'd be like, oh well, there's that set of arms that you need. And like, God's sake. But then throughout the rest of the mission, all I'd get would be arms.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have all the arms.
Well, I mean, it's arms week, so now you have all of them. You're all set.
Well, not yet. Yeah. Next week. This week, coming up.
But he's all set. He's pre-gaming it.
Yeah, I've already lived the arms week. It's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there's part of my brain that said I don't want to focus anything yet. I just want to accrue. Again, I'm just trying to get my light to 200. So let me just accrue things. Whatever drops. And if I do need a if I do need something, honestly, I'll be looking at the portal going, what activity will give me a drop? I mean, I cannot express how much I like that. Or I can say, oh, I can go do this fire team activity or this crucible activity, and here's the kind of reward I will get. This will drop me a helmet. This will drop me this kind of weapon. I really like knowing that I can go into something with, and not having to go to a vendor and focus it ahead of time, but saying this activity will give me this kind of reward. I really, really like that change. I mean, the portal feels like old Halo to me, or I guess, current Halo, because Halo is still Halo. But the portal feels so Halo-y to me. It's like, hey, what kind of activity do you want to do? What things do you want to set up? Like, it's better than, like the Halo 4 and Halo Reach days, because you can tune it more. But it feels very Bungie. It feels very familiar. It feels, hey, like I said, do you want to do a hard thing? Here's the hard things. Are you alone? Here's an alone activity. Like, it makes it, so much easier to sort of say, what kind of thing do I want to do? And then what are my options? And I really like that. I like having that menu laid out in front of me. That's not just, here's a bunch of planets. Try to remember what's worth doing. And what reward will you get? Who really knows? Yeah, I mean, I'm still having a great time. I'm still really enjoying everything. It all still feels, it still feels very new and very fresh. And I've got loads to do. So I'm thrilled with it.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me. It's just like, I know I said I haven't been able to play this week, but I'm still itching to get on and do the different things and take my time to grind it up to 200. I'm nearly there, and then go from 200. And then once I'm kind of at 200, maybe then I'll start looking at getting some of these new armor sets and maybe getting a base kind of feel for this new version of armor. And then as I kind of progress and get higher and higher, then when I get to the 450s, I'm looking at then maybe getting tier 4 and 5 to then replace what I've got. But at the moment, I'm quite happy. Like I said to you guys in the chat, I'm quite happy to have my strongholds on, my sword, and just walk to the end of the mission kind of thing and just get what I kind of need to get out of it. And the build that I've got is really good for kind of just doing that. I haven't done the Mythic campaign yet. I'm looking forward to kind of doing that and seeing how I fare with that. Because I know that you do have to do, is it the Mythic and something else for the catalysts for the new exotic? So you do have to do those to get, is it catalysts or is it the perks or something from it, Noble?
And it's the perks in there.
Something like that anyway. Yeah. So I'm quite looking forward to doing that. And that final mission, Peroty, it's good fun when you're solo. And you have a fear of jumping puzzles. It's good fun.
I have a love of jumping puzzles, and that happened to push some buttons on me that I didn't know I had.
I liked. I kept fluffing it up. I really did. I kept, for some reason, every time I figured out in my head, I was like rolling around, going, right, I need to roll, jump, and project myself to the next kind of level to get to the next platform. But I would practice it on the ground, like just rolling around the boss, and I'd be like, right, I can do this. Right, I get to it, and every single time I would transform back into my guardian. I'd be like, what are you doing? You know the button combination. You've done it about 3 times on the ground. Why are we now just as we're jumping, we're transforming back into the guardian? That makes no sense. You need to go back down to the ground. I'm like, oh.
I am looking forward to that one? Question mark?
Yeah.
I very quickly realised I needed to slow down.
Yeah.
Did you?
I was trying to do like the boosted jump that you can do in Matter Ball, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. And it turned out that I was that, yeah, I can do that.
Oh, no, you can do the boosted jump.
Yeah.
What I found is that you jump first and then you do the boost, and it pushes you.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. You can do the boosted jump. I couldn't. I just fluffed it every time I did it. So I was, you know what? Just take the slow jump. Just have it take an extra second, but have it take you.
I couldn't do the slow jump because I panic. I would panic that I would miss that ledge. I did have to keep doing the booster, which is why it was like, oh my god, I'm on the edge of my seat. Especially doing it solo. I was like, oh, I'm going to die and I'm going to waste all those damage phases. But I didn't. I did it in one run, so I was quite pleased with myself.
Oh, nice.
When I come to kind of doing it again, I know now that I'm going to fluff it every single time, and it's going to take me about 2 hours. So,
Yeah, that's how it felt. I don't know, and again, I don't know what any of the mission names are in terms of what they were, but like when you fight basically the old Nightfall boss, where you have the big giant spinny Vex guys on rails that want to hit you with the big giant purple ball of death, or purple beam of death. I can't remember what strike that is. I was like,
oh,
it's
your
this guy
Titanic
again.
moment.
And yeah, he's bought a brother. Yeah, that I shared a clip with these guys of I thunder crashed the boss right at the moment where he said I'm out of here. I saw what happened. No, I'm done. and I used the entire thunder crash. Ended up he went just far enough out of range of the thunder crash. He was like, and we're good. And I'll go like 5 more feet, and I'll sit right here. So I did minimal damage, but not super damage.
So good.
And yeah, I was doing that one so quickly because again, I fall, I die, I fall, I die. And I'm like, I just want to get the stupid first part done. Like I can get over to the platform so easily, but then I was rushing it and I kept dying every single time because I was rushing it, or I get shot, or that the purple beam would hit me and sort of like leave me in, like as I'm trying to jump back from super him onto the platform and just go, well, no, I'm just gonna sit here and be dead. And yeah, I was just trying to rush it and I kept flubbing it. So I was like, just slow down, do this slowly. You don't have to rush. You can punch everything in sight. Man, the Skull Fort is worth its weight in gold. I have ridden that thing to victory in this campaign because, you have a whole bunch of Vex, just punch them. Punch them, they're all dead, you got your life back, everyone's good. Done, dusted, beautiful. I'm not looking forward to more platforming as the ball, because it feels like Stasis Titan. Being in the ball feels like being a Stasis Titan. Everything's a little wobblier than it should be. All my jumps just feel a little more. Am I on the platform, or am I gonna bounce right off the platform? I don't know how the ball is bouncy. Can I get like a strand ball that adheres to the platform it's on? That's what I'd like. Oh god, the number of times I had to go. It was either right before the message or the one before that, where you have to go use the morph to basically make yourself a little ramp for the ball to run on, and then make a 90-degree turn twice to get into the vent at the end of the room. I was in that room probably a dozen times because I just could not get the ball to go around that corner slow enough not to fall off.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what I know which room you mean. Yeah,
it's like if you've been there, it's just like I couldn't. I just had to inch forward on my controller with the ball, just going a little more. Because every time I would get any kind of speed, I would just bounce right off the edge into that section. And then there's no enemies in the room. Everything was fine. I wasn't going to die, but just and that's where the timer is. Yeah, because that's the whole mission where the timer counts down on you. So there's this very, very generous timer, and every time you kill a Vex and pick up a Vex mote, you get 10 more seconds. So I never was worried about running out of time, but just the fact that the timer exists, I was trying to rush my way through, which is the point, Bungie. I see what you're doing, and I don't care for it. And I would just try to rush that turn, thinking, I've only got 3.5 minutes. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna hit the next room. You're gonna kill 90 more Vex, and you'll be all set. But just trying to rush that turn and dying over and over and over again. I was like, come on, ball. Work with me here. I just want you to roll around this 90-degree turn and be done. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, you don't get that.
No, you really don't. You can try, and eventually I'll make it, but man.
Throughout all that talk of all that ball talk and everything else, all I could think of was Caddyshack. It's just beat the ball. Beat the ball, darling. Beat the ball.
I just had Happy Gilmore in my head. Are you too good for your home? Go into your home. That's how I feel. Oh my god! Every time I have to drop into a vent or go into one of those ball-shaped doorways that you would think I would be the right size, that I bounce off of every time. I'm like, "Are you too good for your home?"
It's just so ridiculously difficult.
Yeah, I'm like, guys, the speed in the vent and the speed and the tweaks you've made, it definitely feels a little less bad being the ball going down those long vents, but still, yeah, just it bouncing off of everything. I'm like, can I just get a negative 20 bounce modifier on the ball? That would be good. I would be good with that.
Ball needs its own armor.
Ball does need its own. Ball needs its own stats. Man, just can I make this ball a little less bouncy? I just need to settle it down. Matter Spark, just settle down. Be cool.
The armor you have, the more control you get of it.
Right. Which stat is that? Would that be melee? Would that be is class? Is the ball class not high enough? I don't know. Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
I didn't think simply controlling the Matter Spark would be such a part of the campaign experience. What killed you?
I'm not-
the Giant Vex God? No. Was it Army of Fallen? No. Falling off event as a ball. That's what did it.
To be fair, after finding out that the ball is coded as a vehicle, and I think about how difficult it is to move a vehicle sometimes,
Yeah.
around the corner, I'm like,
That
well,
makes
you know,
sense.
is it a surprise, really, that we're struggling with the ball when the sparrows have never been great?
Mm-mm. Not a surprise, just a disappointment.
It's always the worst one, isn't it?
Well, Demon, I'm hoping you will get more time to play and experience, and not just see what the vendors are selling.
I am wondering what choices he's going to make next week.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna give everybody else a choice, so they can either listen to what I think is going to be next week, or they can skip it. So here's what's happening this week in Destiny. This is your weekly rundown for the Edge of Fate, Week 3, starting on July 29th. This week sees the launch of the new limited time event, Arms Week, which will have a focus on one weapon each time it comes around. This week will be hand cannons. And much like we had with the previous heavy metal event, as you progress through the event ranks by completing activities, you'll unlock more rewards. Event challenges will reward event tokens, which can be exchanged for exclusive gear and rewards in the reward shop, which include holofoil weapons. Ada 1 will also be on hand to train and test your skills, with time trials and target practice at the new shooting range in the tower. By playing activities with hand cannons, you'll be able to collect combat telemetry, which can be turned into Ada 1 at the shooting range, allowing her to build more weapons and other rewards, including time-limited but very powerful volatile mods. Arms Week runs from the daily reset on Tuesday to the following Tuesday reset. In the Crucible Ops this week, Trials of Osiris makes its triumphant return on Friday, August 1st, with 3 new armor sets for each class, and a whole set of tiered weapons to earn, including the Aisha's Embrace Scout Rifle, the Auric Disabler Auto Rifle, the Uraeus Neutralizer Hand Cannon, the Forgiveness Sidearm, and the Unwavering Duty Machine Gun, with the new Trials perk Fleet Footed. Also available in Crucible Ops this week will be Competitive, Control, and a variant of Cutting Edge. Other non-featured modes can still be found over in the Crucible Director. This week in the Fireteam Ops, the Coil activity arrives, featuring 3 different paths to play: the Divining Hall, the Pavilion, and the Temple of the Queen's Wrath. Also in Fireteam Ops this week, we'll see the strikes of Liminality, the Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, Inverted Spire, and the Glassway. Battlegrounds Oracle, Foothold, Delve, and Conduit, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat, and Dark Priestess, Savathun Spire Offensive, with Onslaught Widow's Core and Midtown. This week's solo ops include Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera. In the Pinnacle ops this week, Exotic Missions Starcross, with the Wishkeeper Bow being the main reward, and the Season of the Wish weapon set, the Whisper, with the Whisper of the Worm Exotic Sniper being the main reward, Kel's Fall, with the Slayer's Fang Exotic Shotgun being the main reward, and Encore, with the Choir of One Auto Rifle being the main reward. And as a reminder, once you've beaten the main campaign, you then gain access to activities and world events on Keplar, such as time-lapse missions and world tiers, where you can increase your challenge and rewards with fabled and mythic difficulties. We also have a new 3-player matchmade activity called Deceive, which is active every 2 hours with a countdown timer on the map, plus 2 featured weekly missions. Mission 1 this week should be Satanism, and Mission 2 should be Quarantine. You'll also gain access to the Altar of Relativity, where you'll find pursuits, focusing rewards, upgrades, and exchanges. This week's challenges are Solar Datapad Search Part 3, Vanguard Datapad Investigation Part 3, Datapad Discovery Part 3, Pinnacle Datapad Retrieval Part 3, Pinnacle Performance, Stranded Ritual, Potent Projectiles, Energy Dispersion, and Trial by Firing Squad. If you're a returning player, it's worth dropping into see Ada 1 in the Tower Annex, as she will gift you 20 exotic requisition orders, which guarantees new archetype rolls for pre-Edge of Fate exotics you've already unlocked. Also, don't forget to keep an eye on this Friday at Reset, as its wares have now changed, offering legacy items and 2 exotic armors for each class each week, with a guaranteed exotic class item to boot. For our legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken enemies and the Plague Oinamina. The Ascendant Challenge will be Ouroboros over in the Affiliates Rest Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare Resortal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Omnigul, Anguish, and Fanatic Insanity. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Dares of Eternity expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Fallen, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 3. Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen Weekly Story Mission is The Ritual, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher, Tarnation, and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly Mission is Downfall, the Partition Mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. With this new expansion, all raids and all challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week. The only ones available for powerful gear are the new raid, the Desert Perpetual, over on Keplar, and dungeons Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over in the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality Zaga up for grabs. The exotic mission rotator will be Node Override Avalon, with Excalibur Exotic Glaive being the main reward, and the Season of the Defiance weapon set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and 0 Hour, will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the 3rd week of the Edge of Fate.
Bets have been placed. We have guessed. We'll have to see what happens.
No. Most of the rotations have stayed the same. I mean, as I was checking with you earlier on today, that the mission that was on the Pale Heart, which was either Ascent, Descent, or Iconoclasm, did have a featured one each week that would give you a pinnacle. But I thought it would still kind of rotate round. But it's been stuck on Iconoclasm for a couple of weeks now, and now Noble says it's gone completely. It's just those missions are there, and you can just select them as and when you want. So, yeah.
You can play any of them, and they will reward you with an Ascendant Shard.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, why you'd choose to do Iconoclasm, which is just horrible, I don't know. But,
But what happens if you haven't got the exotic from there yet? Yeah, if you haven't got your microcosm, and it's a requirement to get the microcosm, then you need to do those 3 missions.
Then don't ask me.
Why not?
Because I hate that mission. I hate Iconoclasm.
No, actually, I think I ticked the box to do Iconoclasm, but now I'm worried that if they've taken away like whichever one was the featured one each week, if I have to go back and play them, have they wiped my kind of progress of that I did Iconoclasm, and now I have to kind of go back and do it again?
That's maybe if it's not on a rotation anymore, maybe you won't be able to do it at all. Maybe you can't get it at all.
Well, no, you can. Yeah, you can still do the microcosm, but I'm thinking because it was 3 boxes that just had to be ticked for the exotic.
So you're just not falling
quest.
For that one. Fine.
Yeah,
I was just trying to make you worry even more.
No, I'm up with these things. I'm down with the kids. I know what's happening with these rotations.
You had my number on that one.
Yeah,
no, he was not falling for that one.
Yeah, no, can confirm if you have completed campaign missions on cooperative focus mode for the Convalescence Budding quest. If you say have done Ascent but not Descent or Iconoclasm, it did keep your progress. So it did say yes, you've done one of them. Not speaking from experience or anything. Who also couldn't be bothered to do all 3 of them for the microcosm. But yes, it did keep that progress. So if you have the same worry, just like I'm never going to play in Cirrus Plaza in competitive, not once. Not a single time, because I will never finish this Forge to New quest for playing on Dissonance, Event High Labs, and Cirrus Plaza.
No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. So when we had those missions come up,
so just delete this quest is what you're telling me.
You might as well just delete it. I've kept it, and I've played on all of those maps many times.
Oh yeah, no, so have I.
After they did that event of look at these missions, you can go and play. Or these not missions,
right?
These Crucible maps.
It's gone.
Oh, okay. I've still got mine.
Yeah, no, I've had it sitting there going. I've religiously played at least 3 games on the Warlock every week for a while, trying to farm drops, and apparently just never, despite playing on that map many times, never gave me credit for for that quest. So all right, it's gone, done,
There you go.
deleted,
Done.
goodbye.
Dusted.
There were a handful of quests I went through, and I said, "What is this for? Why is this here? Have I done this 6 times?" They gave me a new light quest to talk to Shahan. I'm like, why? I'm just deleting it.
Yeah, I got that
I
as
have for season and season and season. I have kept a lot of this stuff around, figuring, well, I'll probably do it at some point. I'll be on the Cosmic Realm and I'll shoot things, go, hey, here's a weapon that I'll immediately delete because I already have it. But this is where I'm finally drawing the line, going, what is this quest for? Do I need it? No, I'm going to delete it. There's a kiosk I can go to if I ever need it back. But if I haven't done it in the last expansion, I'm not going to do it now. So I'm trying to just sort of tidy up that quest list, going, what should I actually care about? All the Whisper mission quests, deleted, done. If I ever do them, I can pick them up and someone will drag me through them, and then I'll have a Whisper that I'll put in the vault.
Apparently it's very easy now to kind of just pick those up, run through the Whisper mission, and get the exotic at the end. People are kind of just amazed that you can put on those, not even put the buffs and the debuffs on, and you can just run through that mission, and it just gives you the loot at the end of it. Yeah, so it might be worth.
Can you do it with all the catalysts? Because I have the new gun, I just don't have any of the catalyst stuff that you're meant to do. All of the shoot the things and do all that nonsense. None of that I've done, and I don't intend to.
You can. So.
All right. Well, that's good. I figure somebody will make me do it at some point, and then I'll do it.
What do I need to make you do?
Nothing.
The Whisper mission, and get the Whisper.
Oh, Whisper mission is an excellent mission. We should go do it.
Yeah, there you go. See.
Yeah. And like I said, someone will drag me through at some point. I'm not worried about it.
So we're all on board with the fact that the story was amazing. From what you've seen already, Peroty, and what me and Noble have kind of played. I loved it.
All aboard. We're all aboard that train. Yep.
Yeah. It was so nice and refreshing having some new story about such an old character that we had so little knowledge about, realistically.
What about the kind of the twist of Maya being in there and her being the one that actually killed 3?
I didn't mind. I was neither here nor there about it, to be honest.
I think it was nice that they kind of gave us some kind of conclusion to episode echoes, because everybody was very the episode echoes. She got away with her echo, and what's she going to do with it? We've now found out what she's going to kind of do with it. It's like, and her plans kind of going forward. I did like that kind of, like I said last week, the kind of Thor the Dark World, the one that was very underrated, people didn't really like, and it was like, haha, it had some meaning, it had some bearance on the kind of the overall end of this kind of story. So I thought that was a pretty good kind of twisty turny thing that Bungie did there.
I mean, I really like the voice actor for Maya Sunrise, so I quite liked that. That woman has the most amazing voice in the world for a person that sounds like she smokes what must be about 400 cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but she has such a fantastic voice. And
she does.
It was so nice to actually hear her back and to be actively doing something. Yeah,
because I think it was underused in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 when we had the kind of factions. It was like, oh, okay, yeah. But now she's kind of back and been given a meteor role of, now you are going to be a big bad that the Guardians will have to fight, and further on down the line, maybe come to some kind of resolution with. So that is nice to look forward to. It always makes me laugh because I refer to her as the woman that she was in 24, the TV series with Keith Sutherland.
Mm-hmm.
Way before she was in lots of other things, and I always remember from that. And then when Peroty and I think I was talking to Pan about it, you guys remember from a completely different TV show. I was like, okay, I didn't know she was in that.
Yeah, but in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
okay.
In that brief run. Yeah. Well, I mean, her voice is so recognizable. Like the moment you hear her smoke, her voice is, you're just like,
yep.
Oh, it's you. I can't remember your name ever, but it's you, and I like you. You're great fun. I'm happy to have her back. Still couldn't really tell you what an echo is or why we care about the echo, but yeah, she's back, and that's lovely.
Echoes were the powerful things that came out of the Traveller and after the final shape that we chased down. We gave one to Fickrel. Was it Fickrel?
Sure.
We
Yeah.
gave one to somebody in the Elixir at the end of Revenant, and they took us in that holodeck and showed us Reese. No? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Was that a
Yeah,
cutscene that
might
you
have.
skipped?
It's not a cutscene. It's even content that I've watched. It's even content I've sought out and watched. But I just like in my brain, I cannot keep track of what the echoes are. Like every time I hear echo, I'm like, what is that again? Oh, right, the thing, the traveler bit. Got it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It will not stick in my head.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a shard of the Traveller because they're completely different.
Yeah. Nope, it's an echo.
Yeah.
Very different. Different word, different currency entirely.
Yeah.
So we've been picking up currencies from Keplar. Is there a reason to? Do they do anything?
Yeah, you can use them to buy stuff, and now we know why we depreciated all the other things, because you can't kind of convert them into time lost versions of said currencies. It's like we've deprecated these currencies. You can now kind of get rid of them from your inventory. But hey, guess what? You're going to find all of the same ones, but we're going to call them time lost versions. But you don't have to keep them in your inventory. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been running around dutifully picking them up because this game has taught me to collect currencies, whether I need to or not.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if there was a point to it. Also, the fact that the currencies from Titan are back, but just different.
No, they're time lost. Everything's time lost.
Got currencies from Destiny 1 back. We've never had Relic Iron in Destiny 2.
I've been playing Titan in Gambit for years. Titan never went away, and those currencies are now back in the rest of in Keplar, and that makes me happy. Everything is Titan again. Give me a sea monster, give me a methane ocean. Let's set sail.
And the funny thing is, I know we spoke last week. We were talking about those Nonary manifolds. They had gone from my inventory. They're now back. I don't know where they've suddenly come from. I'm like, you'd gone.
You tried deleting one.
No, I haven't. I didn't. I've only just looked, and they're back in there. And I'm like,
try deleting one.
There.
His were taken away.
Yeah, try deleting one.
They have
got the slowest delete I have ever come across, and they delete singularly.
Are you kidding me? This is who coded why?
Look, we talked about this at the beginning. We can't moan about the things like that.
I'm going to.
No,
we're not.
This is much worse than any of the other modes.
Wow. This is worse than cheaters in Destiny. This is worse than the grind from 10 to 450.
I would rather contend with cheaters than have to spend 45 minutes deleting. Like, I think I've got about 60. And I managed to delete 3, and I thought, if I stand here trying to do this much longer, I am going to fall asleep. It is ridiculous.
It's about 20 seconds to delete one of them, and I have 230 of them.
Yep, there you go.
Those are going to sit right there next to my 510 Rainmakers and 360 Finest Matter Weaves. Because I delete a couple of those periodically. Because Bungie won't let me just delete them as a stack. So every now and again, if I'm sitting in orbit waiting for the game to load, I'll delete a couple of Finest Matter Weaves or Rainmakers.
Yeah, when you're waiting for a person and you think,
those go quickly.
Yeah,
but those are like a second or two. That.
Yep.
I mean, they really did not want you. I mean, which, to be fair, I wish some other current. Honestly, I wish the game would do that. I wish that anything that would delete the entire stack would be super slow to say, "Are you sure?" And anything that deleted just one would go super quick, so I could tell. Versus playing the game of, if I delete this, do I delete 150 of these or one of these? Because I do not know, and I do not want to be wrong.
But I remember many years ago deleting 999 enhancement cores accidentally. Yeah, and you know what? I would give them 999 enhancement cores right now to delete all of those Nonary manifolds, so I didn't have to stand there for all that time with my finger on the button.
Yeah, they were serious about not deleting those. And that I'm not going to moan about. I am curious why they were gone for you and now they're back. Because mine are still here. They never left.
No, but mine weren't there.
Mine never left either. Mine, they're going to make me delete mine. I know they are.
Nope. Mine are going to sit right next to those, those Rainmakers and Finest Matterwaves. They're going to sit right there forever because I am not deleting those. I am not going to spend the time to do that. Bungie, give me a vendor. Let me just swap all this out. I don't even care if you give me Glimmerfort. Just get them out of my inventory. Night Demon needs those slots. You have taken away a slot from this man, and he desperately needs those slots to be free.
I mean, I'd have happily kept one because I've got some obscure. I'm not a little bit like Night Demon. I've got some obscure things kept. So, like, I've got to have a look at Dim now so that I can tell you some of the obscure things that I've got. You know, like I've got some obscure things still in my vault that I'm just never going to part with because I'm just like, no, they're just a good memory then. But I just don't feel the same about Nonary Manifolds, so I was going to get rid of them. But they're so
what you
weird.
thought.
Yeah. Like, what are these? Fragmented Souls. The Fragmented Souls came with the first Festival of the Lost that we had. And I've still got some of those just sat in my vault from our first ever Festival of the Lost.
Oh, bless him.
Scout reports from Finesses. Why not? You should buy those from Cade before they, offed him.
Yeah.
No, they're available.
Bigger hoarder than
see, and people say that I'm a hoarder.
Well, I mean, you are. You just both are.
No,
this is an additive situation versus a multiplicative situation. You are just both hoarders. It doesn't make either one of you more hoarders than the other. You are just both hoarders.
I've still got certain place collectibles like Dusklight Shards, Barrier.
Oh yeah,
Bow.
we've got them. Oh, that's basic. That's basic. Get over that. Get over that.
All those sorts of things. Oh god!
Have you got your spinfoil hat?
Yes.
Devram's favourite mug.
Yes.
That? Yeah. All the Archie other collectibles that we had. Have you got a fizzled Iron Banner token?
Yes, I've also got some of the ones from Tess as well. Do you remember when we used to be able to get the bounties from Tess?
Yeah.
To earn Bright Dust.
Fizzled Bright Dust, yeah.
Yeah. I've got some of those in my vault also. I've got some weird stuff sat in my vault. But we won't discuss that because I'll end up in the same boat as Demon.
You are.
People complaining about him, like someone sort his vault out.
Anyway,
if you would like to shame the Brits and their vault management, you too. Leave a comment
on with
the show.
Destiny 2 update 9.0.0.3. Oh dear. They fixed an issue where Kepler engram focusing at higher gear tier levels was listing incorrect requirements. These now correctly show Fabled and Mythic World tier quests as the requirements to unlock higher gear tier focusing. Portal, they fixed an issue where some conquest modifiers were not displaying properly. And they fixed an issue where players would only match with other players who were within 20 power in all PvE activities. Players will now be able to match with players up to 100 power. Fixed an issue where extra drops were dropping at lower than intended chances. Fixed an issue where Fireteam Ops quick play playlists were not advancing Guardian ranks objectives correctly. Crucible, Cutting Edge, is now live. It wasn't live when they said it was going to go live. It went live on Tuesday. Modifiers are now displayed properly and loadout restrictions now apply properly. So maybe some people got around that. They fixed an issue where the competitive division did not reset back to 0. I missed out on that one. Players who were Ascendant last season and completed placements this season will have their competitive division reset to Platinum 1.
That one I'm not sure you would have hit because I think basically if you were an Ascendant that's like 15,000 rank, and I think they basically reset it by taking 10,000 away, so it started you at 5,000 or so. So wouldn't have affected us, but very good players. Just got a little boost to be still good players.
No, I actually got the message logging in like every week towards the end of the final shape. It kept going, you've been deducted points, you haven't played. You've been deducted more points, you haven't played. Now you've dropped down a rank. You just haven't played any competitive. Play some competitive and it'll go back up. And I'm like, no, you've told me I can't. There's no point in getting that weapon anymore. Just you told me there's new stuff. I'm not doing it. Can't make me. Raids and Dungeon. They fixed an issue that blocked players from accessing the Raid Vault of Glass. Prophecy. They fixed an issue that blocked progression after the cube encounter. Duality fixed an issue where the bells did not teleport players to the Nightmare Realm. Vanguard
Yeah,
Ops, the Corrupted, fixed an issue where players did not get teleported during the Ogre encounter. Liminality fixed a weasel error that prevented players from starting the activity. And Gameplay and Investment. Matterspark fixed an issue where the camera would spin when entering Matterspark when using mouse and keyboard controls at higher frames. Fixed an issue where the camera rotation was slow when using a controller. Reduced the motion blur, field of view changes, and screen shake during Matterspark Dash. So that's pretty good. That's what they said they were going to do. Weapons, they fixed the third iteration, doing more damage when used with the anti-barrier scout rifle perk. Note, charged amalgamation rounds were not affected by this bug, and their damage is unchanged. Fixed an issue where some aerial denied grenade launchers and rocket sidearms were receiving less ammo from ammo bricks than intended. The correct amounts are listed below. So area denial frames, base PvE ammo brick, 3 shots. Enhanced PvE, 6 shots. Rocket sidearms, base, 6 shots. Enhanced, 12. That's for PvE. Both of those. Don't get anything extra in PvP. You're on your own. Fixed an issue where Quar of One's ammo reserves were incorrectly increased. Total ammo has been set to 225. Fixed an issue where sword ammo reserves were incorrectly reduced. Reserve for swords have now been set back to pre-Edge of Fate values. Well, that's good, because I wondered what happened with my sword. I was just a little bit more conservative when using it in doing the campaign, but that's good. They fixed. Sword. I have. I've got more sword to do my mythic and whatever the other one was. All I remember is mythic, and they've said it, and I've just said it. Fabled and mythic. I said it like only a couple of minutes ago, and I completely forgot it already.
Yep. Easy come, easy go.
Fix an issue where the hand cannon that ends in ape could generate multiple stacks of precision instrument per burst. And they fixed an issue where overload perks for auto rifle submachine guns would appear in players' weapon buff trays until the next reload or stow of the weapon, regardless of the sustained fire. And they fixed an issue where the Reaper's Tithe would deal inconsistent damage at max stacks. Armor. They fixed an issue preventing the armor mod distribution from being available. But what you haven't fixed, Bungie, is I've seen people cheesing with damage mitigation. Have you seen this? People putting on armor that you can get from this season and then putting, like, if they've already got it and transmogged it, putting that back on over the top as transmog and getting double the damage mitigation.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Basically using the Iron Banner, the ornament counts as the armor, except it's double dipping because QA.
Yeah.
I'm
wondering what else that would work with. So yeah, they haven't fixed that thing with the armor, so that's still going on. There's a Cheats Forever video about it. I will link in the show notes. Customization fixed an issue where the chain piston ornament was not available for Syntheseps. So that's the one that we only had a couple of weeks ago that was available, but was not available, obviously.
Now
apologies to Knights of the Punching Table. So Peroty, they've apologized to you for that. Fixed an issue that caused the wings in the Taken Flight holochip to be smaller than intended. Oh, well, we're really upset about that. Fixed an issue where the Taking Flight holochip was visible while in Matterspark form. Why wouldn't it be?
That I'm sad that I did not see, because I would like a little Matterspark with wings. It would probably stabilize it. It would probably make it, give it some bird-like quality. It could probably be easier to control that way. And
they fixed an issue where the Infernal holochip was not available in collections. Oh, sad times.
That Infernal holochip.
Yeah. Fixed an issue where the One-Eyed Mask could not be focused at Ada 1. Fixed an issue where extra slots were inaccessible to some players. Destination materials can now be dismantled in stacks. Unfortunately, as we've just found out live on the show, some things still cannot be dismantled in stacks.
And not Nonary manifolds, so you're going to keep.
Yeah, but it's not a currency. Obviously, it's not a currency or a material that you can.
No, definitely not. Not a currency. Not that currency they gave us for that.
No,
event.
Destination materials can now be dismantled in stacks. Nothing else. UI and UX fixed an issue where activities could be launched with modifiers from a different difficulty tier. Oh, sad. because that's how people are sometimes getting some of that stuff done. So that's sad that's gone. Have to grind normal now. Bounties and pursuits to acquire the catalyst for prior seasons past exotic weapons will now properly reflect progress earned from the portal activities. They fixed an issue where the audio was dropping in and out of the PS5. Fixed an issue with the high resolutions would cause mouse blocking problems on Steam. Fixed an issue where the ultra-wide screen setting would cause mouse problems on PC platforms. And they fixed an issue where the in-game product page for the final shape in Japanese was presented in the wrong language. And they fixed several incorrect voice lines and translations. General, the exotic sparrow Enaccord is now available to claim by owners of the Year of Prophecy, in addition to the Year of Prophecy Ultimate Edition. There's a sparrow that you can go and get from the kiosk in the tower. I saw it there and I went, oh, you weren't there the other day, I'm sure. And I left it there because
Now it's still there.
it's still there.
Obviously, really impressed you then, yeah?
Well, when you've got the sparrow from Star Wars, do you really need anything else?
Yes.
Yeah, the Micro Mini. Micro
Yes.
Mini or bust.
No.
Anything. That's what you need. Anything that isn't Star Wars would be a leg up.
Look, okay,
Like
I will relent and I will say,
Ghostbusters Sparrow.
the Zerfboard, the Winged Wolf, or the All-Star Vector could also be kind of swapped out for that. So, yeah. And then maybe if there's an event also, yeah. But if I've got an event going, I like to swap out for like the Lost Engine. I like to have a steam train. It's just personal preference.
What about
If
you had the IVC 10 and CVC 12?
You're just trying to sneak math in here. I don't
They
appreciate it, sir.
they are some good sparrows. They are the old ones that you used to get from playing Crimson Doubles.
Well, I've got them. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're saying about swapping them out. Those two are better.
I do sometimes put on the Iron Gallop if I'm playing Iron Banner. I have to go full Iron Banner. I put on my Iron Gallop, I put on my Iron Pendragon ship, and my Iron whatever emblem, and we go full Iron Banner. So when people inspect me, I am just Iron Banner.
I am Iron Banner.
That is what the contract dictates. I mean, as the Iron Banner player of the British Isles, I mean that is what the contract says.
It's probably the only.
Oh, talking of contracts.
Talking
of contracts, Peroty, I've got your contract in front of me, and it says that you have to read the entire This Week in Destiny for the 24th of July because it's all about things that you tell people about. And I've got nothing to say on this.
Things which are fixed. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, it's all you, my friend.
You know, the amount of time I've spent looking through the threads and seeing what they were going to see, because Bungie always does this. They're like, we're going to do a bunch of changes and drop a bunch of fixes, and then make no note of them in the TWAB at all. Make no mention. And this week they're like, or, hear me out, we could just tell you about everything in the TWAB. So all the Reddit thread farming you were doing and notes you were taking, that's all for nothing. We're actually going to tell you this time. Which, Bungie, I appreciate. But it would have been nice to know that, to invoke the second Happy Gilmore reference, it would have been important to know this yesterday. So yeah, we have the
Why
12.
don't you communicate better, Bungie?
You know, if only. Yeah, but you know, they're communicating, so we're communicating. So yeah, we had the world's first. The Desert Perpetual was completed. They've got a roundup of Destiny 2 teams comms. Week 2 of the Edge of Fate is on. Armed Week is coming next week. Vanguard have approved some briefs. I don't know if they're inside or outside, but 004 and 005. And the Bungie Foundation campaign update. So the raid's over. People did it. Apparently, I guess, in about 15 hours. Melito, Dabs, and Scaria, Silkman, Mitch H. Mitch with a capital H, and Ham. Always bring Ham with you. Very important for raiding, apparently. So congrats to them for completing the day one raid. And since Bungie's telling us in the 12, I'm assuming they've done all the checks and said, yep, they did it. They streamed it. They're good. Everyone won. We had good times. And apparently, you know, lots of other people tried. Many other people failed. We didn't try or fail because we just said, no, that seems like a them thing. They can go do that. We'll just wait for whatever new thing opens when they finish the raid. up to and including the normal mode raid. Or just wait for people to make very detailed things to tell us how to do them.
Yeah, like Fallout. He did a video. He told us how to complete it, and I will put that in the show notes.
Beautiful. Yeah. So we're going to have all those. We have lovely raid lore drops, lovely raid how-tos. And also we're going to get, the new feats system for raid. So how do these work? If you've ever entered the customization menu of the portal, this will look very familiar. You can choose different modifiers to make your experiencing more challenging in exchange for more rewards and to complete triumphs. Now, Bungie, the other part of that is where's the least challenging one? I've been seeing people saying, where's my basically exploration mode for raids? Let's sort of dumb things down a little bit to help teach people raids like we did for the dungeons. That felt, successful. It's harder to match 6 people in a raid situation, but, you can work on that. But you can make them harder. And I know what a lot of people have been asking for. You want contest mode difficulty? You can get it. So you can go in. No. Yeah, I mean, you haven't been asking. I don't think Noble's been asking. But, I have seen people saying, hey, I haven't been able to day one raid. I couldn't get that weekend off work. I'm out of town. It's only 2 days out of the whole year. Can you give us a contest mode difficulty? Well, apparently through the feats, you can now, ratchet that difficulty up and say you can do a contest mode or maybe even a harder than contest mode. I don't know. See what you can set up and make your life miserable by doing very hard things. And then we'll watch people do it on Rock Band drums and with one hand tied behind their back and, holding an infant in one arm, all the ridiculous things they do, 2-man clears, 3-man clears, all that stuff. But yeah,
sounds like Noble, really. Holding an infant in one hand and doing Rock Band in the other.
Exactly. He's got this. So
that's
there'll be all those lovely feats there and higher rewards. So, make it harder to get more stuff. You either have gotten your bag and your jacket and your pins or you didn't. We told you all about that last week, so I'm not telling you about it again. Because you either earned them or you don't. I mean, there's still time to do the raid and then you can earn things for completing the raid. So do that or not. I'm not here to tell you what to do. We got some Portal and World tab updates because, we talked all about last week, the decision to revert the desaturation of the World tab and an upcoming update. Now, Bungie, you're telling us here in July of 2025, our intention going forward is for the Portal tab to serve as quick access points to core game activities, and the World tab will support exploration of the Destiny world. Both are important to us, and we will continue to upgrade both.
Yep.
I'm glad at least they've said something about that, because I think, we were talking, a couple weeks ago about what happens with the World tab now that the Portal is here. Are these both going to be things going forward? I mean, you can't just get rid of the World because that's most of the game. How you access is through that World tab. So we were sort of wondering, what does this mean for all that content? So it's all still going to be there. You can still go load up the World tab, do everything like you used to do if you so choose. You're just not getting the new fancy armor and gear and stuff, but it'll still be there. So
I mean, it honestly makes no sense why Keplar is the only thing in the portal. Why is Keplar not on the map? Put Keplar on the map and then be able to tab to the portal system if you want to see what all the featured stuff and all the fancy stuff that's going on is going on. That would make sense. You load in, you click, go to the world, and then you can either fly to the tower with your friends and do whatever you're kind of doing, or you can tab across and go, let's have a look at the portal. What's the portal doing today? If I want to go to Keplar, I don't need to go to the world tab across to the portal, then click on Keplar. I want to be able to go to the world tab and click on Keplar and go to Keplar. It makes no sense. We've had so many different map changes when we've had expansions of let's squeeze this little planet in here, or let's change the map completely and put this one as the big thing, as this is the featured one for this year. I don't understand why we've put it in the... And last week when you had the raid going on, you had Keplar in one corner on the left, and then you had the raid is now accessible in a little kind of rectangle on the right. And it was like, you click on that rectangle, nothing happened. It was like, well, take me to the raid then. Take me to the raid. Why am I not being able to go to the raid? Oh no, I've got to go back over to Keplar and then go and find it on Keplar because it's hidden there. Oh, I can't go straight there. I have to go and speak to somebody else first. I have to go and find them on Keplar. Oh my God.
So, reason I think that Keplar is within the portal instead of on the World tab, this is the only fit, because I was kind of frustrated like yourself, thought it was a little bit stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's this way around is because Keplar will keep rewarding you higher powered gear, as the rest of the world will only drop like on power gear.
Yeah, I get that. But then
So I think it's
that's
in the
basically
portal
what
because
people
it's a way
think.
for you to work through your power level. So the way I'm looking at it is, if it's within the portal, that's how you're leveling. If it's within the world, you ain't doing
No, I
nothing.
get that. I get that. I do get that.
Yeah, but I think that's the only reason it's in the portal as opposed to on the world tab.
Yeah. No, I do get that. But then when we're Destiny players, we're not stupid. We knew that when the Pale Heart opened up, that would be the place to go and get our pinnacles and powerful stuff. The majority of things, anyway. We can work things out. So if you put it on the world tab and you put Kepler there, we go, right, that's the new thing. That's the thing that we need to go to a lot to get the stuff. I understand they want to kind of keep it all together in the portal. And going forward, maybe it then moves from the portal into the world, which then kind of makes it obsolete or past content. And then the new thing goes in the portal. I do understand it, but it's a little bit frustrating. Just a little bit.
I think it's, I think that's the reason, but I think again, it's sort of them wanting to do away with this world tab and just have you navigate everything via the portal, and it'd just be like, this is where you need to concentrate your time, just in these ones. That's all your old past stuff that doesn't really matter.
No, I get it. I do get it, but we still need both things because unfortunately, it is still a both things kind of game.
It is, yeah, but I don't know. I don't mind the segregation, but I agree it is a bit dumb. But at the same time, I think it kind of makes sense to have everything that is going to reward you the most in one place and everything that's not going to reward you the most in another.
Yeah, no, I get that. You're speaking logically here.
Yeah, what's kind of weird. I mean, I remember you and I even talked about. I don't remember which week it was when we had the preview stuff. Was it sort of weird going to the portal and then seeing Keplar as a full planet? Because I think I remember us talking about sort of they talked about Keplar and accessing different points of the being these secrets to unlock and unravel, and it's like, oh, so you just put the planet over here and it's the same map and the same everything. Which again, I don't think they ever said it was going to be like a different map or a different way to access it necessarily, but I think I had something different in mind for how to get to Keplar, not just, hey, we plopped this planet over here on the portal. It's not like the other planets. We're going to put it over here to the side. Which, I mean, again, to Noble's point, I mean, I like the idea of, where's the newest stuff? Where's the current stuff? The current stuff is over here. Everything else is over there. If you're trying to find the old stuff, if you're watching a video on how to get this or that or the other unlocked, that's where this is. Great.
It would have been interesting.
But things over here. But it did seem, I almost wish they would have said, and maybe they did, and maybe again we just mistook it. It would have been nice to say, like, everything is still there. We knew that, but hey, the new gear, capital N, capital G, the new gear will be here in the portal. That's how you'll get your new gear every season, every expansion, every drop. Yeah. But everything else is basically new gear is here. All the other stuff is still there. All the legacy stuff, the 10 years of content that we're not taking from you, we're just sort of putting it in a different spot. So we don't have to keep rearranging the planets every couple of years.
But I think the problem is that people have, because we're still using some of the old legacy content in this portal system, people are complaining that, well, you're still using it, but it's only there. You're not showing it on the director at the same time.
Right. Yeah. That was my. Like, I thought it was sort of, like the portal is here and sort of, we're going to keep the world tab there, obviously, because you need access to all these planets and quests and story things and whatever. But like sort of it will still be there, but we're not going to show you, like we don't have the lost sector rotations. I don't need to look at the planets to see which lost sector is up. It's now a global thing that I can get to through the portal. Like, that has gone, but it is a weird, and maybe again, we're just in the growing stages of, the portal just came out. They will, make changes to the portal, figure out how to do this, slowly sort of take things out of the world. But then to say, we have both are important. I'm like, are they important now? Are they important forever? By this time next year, will we have the world? Will the world be like another planet where, it's there, but you're really never going there for any reason? Like, are you actually going to continue to invest in this? Or are you just saying it now? Because right now you have to. You can't, you can't pull the world tab. You simply can't, or you lose so much of the game. But it is weird to sort of say, oh no, both are important. We're going to invest in both. And I'm like, but are you though? Or is it just going to be there for the legacy stuff? And I'm not saying that's bad. It's just, it is confusing saying where do I play this? Where do I access this? Where do you want me to go?
I'm kind of looking at it as in your Destiny 2 and your Destiny 3. Like, the world is just your old content. It's just your old stuff that, like, to a lot of us, doesn't really matter anymore.
No,
like, it's just, like, none of the gear that it's going to give you is really any use. Like, what are you going there for?
Yeah.
Like, other than the raids or the dungeons, maybe to pull the exotics out of them if you haven't got them. But then again, how many people is there out there these days that have, that haven't got the gear from those raids, or those dungeons? That's very few and far between now. I mean, I was surprised last week when I bumped into somebody that, like, literally put out that I'm just trying to get Xenophage. It's like, I can help you with that. Like,
Peroty, are you few or far between? I'm one and you're the other.
I would probably be the few, because other than them handing me the dungeon exotics, I have no. I mean, granted, I have not run. I think like Prophecy is probably the dungeon I have the most clears on, and maybe it's 10. I have not run these a lot by any stretch of the imagination. But no, other than the ones that the 9 handed me before their storyline began, I have never seen a dungeon exotic. Again, I have not run.
Yes, you have. You had Wishender, and you had Xenophage, both of them dungeon exotics.
Okay, well, right. Well, Wishender was, you do a thing, we hand you weapon.
Yeah.
And Xenophage was at the same. I think that was the same.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah. If there was a quest line, I completed the quest line. If it's
Stop making me eat my words, right?
Right.
It's not.
Right. Well, no. Again, but it's very different to say, here is the quest line. Here are the things you do to earn this weapon. Great. Yeah. That I can do. Those I have. That's wonderful. The run this between 1 and 4,000 times to hope to get it. Those I don't have, because honestly, there's enough guns in this game, and I don't need to run that 4,000 times. But but I mean, your point still stands. I mean, if you've played this game and you've done the quests, anything you care about or anything you spent enough time on, you've done those quests. You found someone to run through you and get you the wish, run through and get the wish under with. You've unlocked the Xenophage. Yeah, whether you're new, whether you're returning, there's still plenty of that stuff to go do and unlock and play with, and it will still be good weaponry. And I'm assuming Bungie will rotate through, our featured exotics, both armor and weapons. It will change. So, I mean, there is still value in going and getting those older exotics, even if they are, especially on the armor side, even if they're not featured this time, come Renegades, they could be featured. So, you want to have your, insert your favorite exotic here that isn't featured this season. There's still a reason to have them. There's not necessarily a reason to go farm for them and like seek them out right now. Again, like, if you're coming back, or if you just don't have it for some reason, or, hey, if you said, I've spent the last however long playing this character, now I'm going to switch classes and go play this character. And now I need to farm, it's basically a new game at that point. If I woke up tomorrow and said, I want to play a hunter, it's basically a brand new game for me, because there's so much of that stuff I do not have. So there's, a whole world of activities to do and stuff to farm if that's what I wanted to do. So there's stuff out there to have.
Yeah, there is, but like, that's what I mean. Like, other than going and actually getting the exotics, like the weapons, etc., that are within those old dungeons, they aren't worth going to get anymore.
Right. Yeah, they're not better than they're not new gear. So they're not, which is also just so nice that Bungie has, we know what's worth chasing. It's very obvious to tell someone, hey, here's what you want to be chasing. Here's where you want to do things. Go to the portal, find the activity you want to do. If it's got a little plus something bonus modifier, hey, focus there first. Versus looking at a blinking world map with 10,000 little gold icons going, well, some of these are pinnacle gear, some of these are, I can't think of now the other name of the gear. Some of these will actually be better for you, some of these will just be fine. Some of these it's not worth doing because you won't really get anything out of it. It's much clearer on where should I spend my time. Especially if I have limited time, or if I'm coming back, what do I play? What is worth my time, and where will I get the most benefit from it? So all that being said, we have both of those.
Yep.
And we're also going to have
we
an
don't
infinite.
have though. We don't
Well,
have bright dust. I need bright dust.
Well, we don't currently have our infinite bright dust grind because of something else that went away that lasted one whole expansion. Pathfinders. Pathfinders, you may have noticed, I think Demon, you noticed, we're gone. Pathfinders are gone. We chose to retire the core game Pathfinder in favor of simpler daily objectives with improved and unlimited mini objective system planned for release in Renegades later this year. However, they do say, you Destiny players, you like buying things from the store with Bright Dust. So we do want to give you a way to earn, basically, infinite Bright Dust. Just do something to earn Bright Dust over and over and over again. So they did say they are going to do a temporary fix to sort of put something in place to give us a system to earn Bright Dust every week that can be repeatable until this new system they have, basically new mini objective system for Renegades later this year. So you can't have all your Bright Dust now, but they have rebalanced the Bright Dust, so you should be seeing, at least the same as you would before or more. But they are also going to do a, temporary system, make good system until Renegades launches. So stay tuned for that when they tell us what it is. Lots of people talked about the power deltas in the contest raid. Lots of people. We're seeing reports of enemies being at a higher power delta than the activity advertises. We will be investigating this as this is a high priority for us this week. Again, they're looking into it. They're not saying anything yet because they need to look into it and see what happened. Each raid has been unique, especially at contest difficulty. This will continue. And for our players who desire a challenge, don't worry. We'll continue to offer it. That said, they're continuing looking at feedback and getting feedback from community to inform our future as we continue to develop these experiences. Because I guess a number of people were saying this week, they were saying, was this raid going to be very simple? I think like Root of Nightmares, I think, was sort of, considered like a simpler raid. And, very much that was not the case. Desert Perpetual, bugs or no bugs, definitely provided the DPS check and the challenge that I think people were looking for, even if, not the bugs, of course, but the challenge of it and the mechanic heavy, hey, you want to struggle and get your best of the best day one, week one raid, or, weekend one raid clear, you can do it, but you're going to have to work for it. But Bungie is looking to the reports that, just the power deltas, things were harder than they should be. Things were beefier than they should be. And if you basically weren't, what it boiled down to is if you weren't loadout swapping in game for like every DPS rotation, everything, you simply couldn't do enough damage to pass some of the bosses. It just wasn't going to happen. But they're looking into all that stuff. They also are aware of the issue where, rally flags weren't refreshing ammo and abilities consistently. The team's investigating. Will have an update as soon as possible. That was an issue a lot of people ran into where they weren't getting super, they weren't getting ammo, or their abilities weren't being refreshed when they put the rally banner down, which of course you just kind of have to wipe at that point until your whole team is ready. Ability regeneration armor 3.0. They've been investigating reports that the ability regen was not recharging at the rates communicated. We sort of talked last week a little bit in our news roundup about Engineer putting out like this long in-depth post of, hey, we looked at these numbers and looked at this, and this is what these rates should be. This is what you showed in the previews. We're not seeing that in game. So Bungie has said this week, right now the ability stats for Grenade, Melee, Class, and Super are returning less ability energy than stated in our previous communications. We had previously stated that hitting 70 in an ability stat in the Edge of Fate was equivalent to certain pre-Edge of Fate values for discipline, strength, and each class's ability regen stat and intellect. And going above 70 would result in faster recharging than before. This is not currently true for the 70 mark, but it is for the 85 mark. So we intend to make it true for 70 in an upcoming update. So basically, I've read this a couple of times and my brain kind of hurts with the mark, just the way they've worded this, which sometimes I struggle with how Bungie writes things. So basically, it seems like if what they said before is if you get your numbers up to 70, that'll sort of match 70 from before, but that's not what's happening. You sort of have to be 85, and this is where I'm unclear. Is do I need to get that that stat number to 85 for it to match 85 before? And if I have my stat at 70, I'm actually getting some number less than 70 in real world performance. Is that basically how you read this?
Wasn't 70 meant to be the equivalent to 100? And instead of it being 70, it's actually 85 currently that's been the equivalent to 100.
See, that's what I thought I remembered too, but that's again the way they wrote this.
Without going back and actually looking at it, I think, basically it just boils down to whatever they said it was going to be the equivalent of pre-Edge of Fate. It isn't that, so they're going to put it to what it actually says what they told us it was going to be. So it's going to change.
This isn't currently true for the 70 mark, but it is for the 85 mark. What isn't true? Give me another sentence to say. I mean, I think I think Noble is right, because I think they did say 70 would be. I think basically they said like everybody, if I remember, like basically saying like 0 is sort of 30. So like if you don't speculate anything, you'll sort of have what 30 was in the system before. So then 70 would get you to 100, but it's not actually getting to 100. 85 is getting you to 100. So so it's like they meant to give us a boost, but only gave us half of that boost, or a number got halved somewhere that was supposed to apply. Again, give me like another sentence to say 70 should be 100, but 85 is actually 100. I think that's basically what we're
it's
saying.
like a 15 level difference in the like where 85 should be is where 70 should be is the current line of 80.
Yeah, but don't worry. This was the simplified explanation, so expect a full breakdown in how stats are being corrected in company patch notes in the future. So don't worry, they'll give us more words later, but yes, if you're feeling weak and spongy and like the numbers aren't matching up, the numbers aren't matching up, is the TLDR of this. So in addition to that, ammo economy. The weapons and armor sandbox team have been absorbing a lot of feedback this week around the ammo economy changes in the Edge of Fate, and they also are eager to share details. So first, we want players to have more control over ammo acquisition, being able to know when it will drop in combat. See those lovely little bars, that tell you when it's going to happen. Second, we want to provide build crafting options to generate ammo with some trade-offs that we could evolve in the long term with more build crafting support. Ammo can be built into through the ammo generation, stats, mods, perks, and weapons, and the weapon stat and the ammo tuning mods in armor, which if you haven't played with those new ammo tuning mods that drop ammo more often, you should. Lastly, they did want to slightly reduce the ammo gains for players who don't invest in the stats at all, while providing, still providing more than pre-Age of Fate. But if folks invest more, even enabling and supporting the running of double special ammo builds in PvE. So, like they said all along, if you invest nothing, you should see a little less than you were before, but if you invest, you'll see potentially much greater gains. So that wasn't happening. So in update 9003, we made a few targeted adjustments that Demon told us about earlier, and have more coming in the next few weeks, and then even more planned in the long run, as they sort of see how this pans out and finds the other places. So basically, like Demon talked about earlier, your rocket sidearm ammo has been increased. They fixed bugs on swords, reducing their total ammo, and some area of denial frames, they fixed, and some they didn't. Tune into your favorite streamer or YouTuber to tell you which of those once someone goes and tests them and tells us exactly which ones. And update 9004 is planned to be released on Tuesday with more updates. So we'll have more coming then. What they are talking about, hopefully releasing on Tuesday, is players on the lowest end of the ammo investment, so 0 stat, 0 mods, will see ammo progress faster, providing more bricks. So, ultimately, the additional tuning was a bit too punitive. We want to bring it back closer to pre-Age of Fate values, while we still encourage you to build into it. So basically, if you invest nothing into ammo, you should expect to see a little less ammo than you are, pre-Age of Fate, but better than you're seeing now. And if you invest anything into ammo, you should have no problem creating ammo and, like they said, enabling double special builds. They're also planning to release the fix for increasing the ammo per brick for some additional weapon types, and buff the ammo generation stat for some exotic weapons are lagging behind, so they too will generate ammo faster. And then in the long run, in the future, past Tuesday somewhere, they don't say when, but long run, they want to provide better methods of highlighting the ammo drops or recovering ammo if it falls off the map or falls into unreachable locations. No worse feeling than when your heavy brick falls to its death.
Always.
They want to improve how ammo assists generate ammo for players, improving how assists generate ammo for players. So you helped, you should also get ammo. And continue to build more, to sandbox combat hooks for generating ammo, enabling players to feel like if you specialize into ammo generation, you'll do it for you and your teammates. So again, building to that stat, making it beneficial for everyone. More changes coming to the portal. We have week 2, and new activities, like we talked about, will be Onslaught Midtown and Onslaught Widow's Court will arrive in Fireteam Ops, and also the Suros Foundry weapons will be overcharged this week. So give them a try while you're doing some hard challenges. I do like the idea of featuring different Foundry weapons, whether it be exotic or just your favorite legendary to pull out and say, ooh, this could be very good. I should play with it. Somewhere I thought I saw how much. Maybe it was further down. Anyway, I'll see if I can find it, because I think I saw some number on like how much better those weapons were, or what exactly
25%
going to be. 25. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it's 25% more damage, and it stacks as well. So if you've got a Suros weapon that is also part of the featured list of weapons that are better this season, and you're onto a winner. I did have a quick look through my inventory. I typed in my dim and went Suros, and it went, you have nothing from this season, so good luck, sir. You have old stuff that will give you okay. Right, that is it.
The Suros regime is not on the list, sadly. Not on the featured list. It's on the Suros list, obviously.
Yeah, yes. I've got like the Syncopation, the Glissando. What else have we got? We've got the Sorrow's Verse. We've got the Coronaccia 22, the Katatana 57. You've got Exalted Truth from Trials, that hand cannon. Nature of the Beast. You've got Jorum's Claw, the Yesteryear. Last Perdition. This was the Staccatos 46. First in, Last Out. Ganora's Axe. 7th Seraph CQC 12. The Fortuna 59 Sidearm. Occluded Finality Sniper. The Hero's Burden Submachine Gun. You've got the Unwavering Duty machine gun from Trials, which is coming back, but it'll be after that fact, so it doesn't matter. The Avalanche, that's also in there, and the Blowout rocket launcher, just to name a few that I could tell you.
Yeah, apparently also the Retrofit Escapade and the Mercado you listed, Retrofit Escapade machine gun, and the non-exotic version of the Kvasov, if you still have that sitting in your vault, also apparently Suros. And of course the Suros regime is a Suros weapon.
Apparently so is the Swarm, so if you've got an adept version of the Swarm, that might be worthwhile knowing.
Yeah.
But it's Yester stuff. You don't want Yester stuff. You want new stuff with Suros on it.
But you might want to use the old stuff.
The Swarm being a Nightfall weapon, surely that's...
Nope. I'm just going to cut you off there. Nope.
No?
That's the olden days.
Nope.
So you two...
Yester stuff.
Yeah, so you two can load up DIM and type in Foundry:Suros, and it will tell you what Suros things you have in your vault. Maybe some, maybe none. Yeah. But those are better this week, and next week it'll be something else that'll be better. So you want to type in Foundry:something else.
Arms week. You're looking for hand cannons next week.
Cannons.
Yay.
So the Fortuna, Fortuna Ferra, which is the hand cannon that you're going to get given by Ada 1 next week, is actually a spider. I didn't realize this until I typed it into Google, and I was like, what is this? I need a picture of this with its ornament, because you're going to kind of get some of those holofoil ornaments for these weapons. And I was like, I need to know. And it came up as a spider. I was like, Destiny 2. And then it showed me the hand cannon. So like, oh, it's a spider.
Yeah, it's great fun typing the names of things and finding, where did this come from? Is it a myth? Is it a spider? What is this thing actually that's outside the Destiny world?
What that tells me is, thanks to Demon, I am not going to be Googling it, because I don't want to look at spiders, because spiders are horrible.
So spider
just put Destiny 2 at the end of it, and then you'll be fine. They don't show any spiders in Destiny 2.
Sorry, I'm not willing to take that risk.
Okay, fair enough.
So you're saying I shouldn't grab that sparrow that's the spider and ride it around?
Well,
with those little spidery legs?
No.
That upsets him.
Very good. Yeah.
No,
so
that's as bad as the Star Wars one.
It's only for a week, though. Hand cannons for 1 week. So July 29th, this upcoming reset, by the time you're hearing this, is probably here now. And it's only going to be here for this week. And they're going to be focusing on one single archetype. So you can use any hand cannon you like, but you might want to use the new one that sounds like a spider. Because you get given it by Ada 1, who's not going to be down in the annex of the tower. No, she's going to be on the other side. She's going to be in the shooting range. You've got to go and see the shooting range holo projection version of her. because that's how things work. I'm sure it is. She's not going to be in both places at once. So don't even think about looking for her in both places and then making a video saying this chick is in both places, because she's not going to be. She's just going to be projecting in one place or the other.
We
It's a
would
trick.
never in Destiny 2 have one character in two different locations. That simply wouldn't be done.
No.
Just
Yeah.
never.
So we're prepared for Arms Week. And yeah, like Demon said, it's a 1 week event. Tuesday to Tuesday, or I guess Tuesday to end
Reset
of
on
Monday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Reset to reset. And yeah, we're going to honor the hand cannons, which, I mean, if you're going to honor anything in this game, that feels fitting. So yeah, you're going to go to the tower. You're going to go to the shooting range in the tower. You're going to find Ada. She's going to give you a pursuit that kicks off the Arms Week event, as well as a brand new hand cannon, the spider hand cannon, because that word is hard to say. Fenutria Fera? Yeah, that one. So, and it's a new flavor of hand cannon too. By playing activities with hand cannons, you'll gather combat telemetry, which will allow Ada 1 to build more weapons and other rewards for you, including time-limited but very powerful volatile mods. And this hand cannon will take you back to your Contra days, because it's a spread shot hand cannon. It fires a short-range spread of pellets. That is what it does.
Yep, that's what it does.
Spread shot hand cannon. So with your favorite hand cannon in hand, maybe it's this one, maybe it's a different one, you'll have a set of daily and weekly challenges that will be available at the Arms Day week home. They talk about the event homes in the April 24 TWID, if you remember. Or basically, if you played heavy metal, same thing. Or just go to the portal and look at the event thing there. That's what that'll look like. And you'll be able to complete challenges that will reward you progression in the event track, which has rewards of many types, from currencies to holofoil weapons, if you reach the higher ranks, but also event tokens. And these tokens are essential to the event and will help you get more rewards in the event shop, just like a carnival. It's a hand cannon carnival. They're also going to have reroll chips earned from the event tracking and in the event shop for event tokens and silver. So yeah, hand cannons will also be the focus for rewards. As we teased above, there's the new solar hand cannon. So our spider is solar. That's kind of the star of the event. The Fenutria Fera, it's one of our first ever spread shot hand cannons. Trials of Osiris will have another one later on. So another one of these is coming. And it works like a shotgun that has traded a bit of its punch for the ability to use primary ammo. That's why it has perks like 1-2 punch in its perk pool. Along with the Fenutria Fera, there is a set of legacy hand cannons to earn for Completionist and Ribbontail, a new strand adaptive trace rifle that can roll with proximity power and detonation beam, among other things. So, new trace rifle, new hand cannon, feature of hand cannons, and on top of all that, those volatile weapon mods I mentioned, you can earn them through Arms Day, and they're available for the duration of the event, and can only be slotted into the featured weapon type, so put them on your hand cannons and wreak havoc. Now you'll be able to use your chaotic munitions, where precision final blows produce a randomized effect. What's going to happen? Don't know. Something. Your cowboy grip, which will supremely improve your hip-fire weapon performance. I can think of something that could benefit from that, but it's exotic, so. And fragmentation rounds. Precision final blows create multiple explosive sub-munitions. So, we hope you're ready for the event, where you can put fun things on hand cannons and make things happen. Chaotically or not.
Just hand cannons, yeah.
Yeah. This almost makes me excited about hand cannons.
I really want to kind of play the event. I really want to see what I can get out of this. Because what I didn't realise is that, we've in the portal system, and we've got that weekly track that you can kind of get various different rewards from each week. You can get like those, I can't remember the name of them now. They're the little corrupted cores. Are they
the unstable course?
The unstable course. You can get unstable cores, you can get strange coins, you can get glimmer, you can get all this wonderful stuff. And then it had some like buffs for weapons, and you're like, well, where does that kind of come? Where does that come into account? Oh, it comes into account if you actually do that reward track each week, and then you go and visit Zavala. Zavala will give you a tier 3 weapon of your choosing, up to I think it was about 5 different roles that he's got with double perks and all enhanced kind of things. I didn't realize that I needed to max that out each week to then be able to go there and buy them from him. I think I'd only got halfway through that reward track last week in the first week. And I went to him and he went, well, you can buy the next upgrade along for some bright dust. And I'm like, no, this is not how you're stealing my bright dust. I will just wait it out. Zavala, you're not stealing my bright dust. That is for essentials only. That's not for cheating and getting the weapons that you're going to give me each week. So yeah, I do
go
like
to
that little
Zavala and
reward
handed him-
track.
Yeah, I did go to Zavala and handed him Bright Dust because I wanted to see what the other, if it was just different different
Yeah.
roles or better roles, or if there were different, if it was just more chances or if they were better in any way. And no, it was basically, about the same roles I had before, just 2 more chances. So yeah, so if you've been staring at the portal and you haven't investigated that lovely seasonal hub, very, very, unassuming little icon up there next to tower, you should click on that because that's where this whole reward track is. You've got daily challenges, weekly challenges. That's where all that's going to live. And yeah, you have this lovely little reward track that can go up to 20, 20 ranks each week.
Each week, it resets each week.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said,
Makes it worth it.
Yeah, I mean, just doing the 5 ranks gets you Bright Dust. I mean, Bright Dust and unstable cores, some lovely enhancement cores should you need them, strange coins, and getting to rank 10, 15, and 20, your Vanguard Arsenal credit. You'll get one of those. It's good for another weapon to choose from the variants of each of the same model. So those guns we're talking about at Zavala. If you just play the game and rank this up, which is by basically doing activities, they're very the ones this week are like defeating targets in Crucible, period, full stop, or getting a B at least a B or higher in a portal activity. Do that twice. These are not hard things to do. Hey, go get a bunch of kills with bows, scout rifles, hand cannons, sniper rifles, or linear fusion rifles. Go kill things and come back. You do those. You get lovely materials with that. It's like a little mini season pass each week, where you can unlock more roles at Zavala and get materials, get exotic engrams, get exotic ciphers. Golf balls will drop once you get into that 16 to 20 range. So yeah, it's worth doing. And yeah, every single week. It's not nothing you have to do, but why wouldn't you?
Yeah, some things you kind of just do passively in the background. If you're playing the portal stuff, you may have just kind of completed them, a bit like bounties. You pick up the bounties, or you used to pick up the bounties and just go off and play and do them passively in the background. So go and check before you kind of log off for the week and see if you have completed some of them, because you may have completed them without even realizing, and then you kind of click on the different things and go, oh yeah, I've completed that needs to be collected. So not saying that I did that last week and didn't realize that I might have done.
No, we would never have done that last week and all the excitement of all the new stuff. No, we would
Exactly. No, we were on top of it. We checked
would-
everything out every single day.
We would never also talk about things and tell people then not do them ourselves. That simply isn't done.
Exactly.
We would never. Wouldn't be us.
No.
Yeah. Hand cannons next week. Good times. I'm I'll be excited for whatever the next thing is too. I mean, again, I am as I said before, I'm a sucker for making take the track, complete the bounties, make the track go up, give you rewards. I like quests. I like little tasks to do. I like little chores in my games to do. I'm very happy. Oh, you want me to go use a hand cannon? Great. I'll find hand cannons I enjoy. Even the new Gape, however you pronounce that new one that they're giving us, can roll with some fun things. I have one with rewind rounds and incandescent. It's a heavy burst, and I kind of like the heavy burst because my issue with hand cannons is I feel like the reticle's way up there, but the bullet's way down there, and my brain goes, no, that doesn't work that way. Yeah, but get yourself your favorite hand cannon. Run around just by using hand cannons and doing things. And I'm very curious what the chaotic munitions are because I want to know. That sounds fun. Just I like the little fun things I can do while I go play my game anyway. I'm gonna be doing stuff anyway. I can slap a hand cannon on and do things. Sounds fun.
Sounds
like
I think this is also forcing people to use the firing range or the shooting range as well, because there are some parts of the quest that are tied to go here and do this and try this out. So it's getting you to actually use it. Because I walked in there this week just to have a look at it, and I was like, okay, there's just some bots standing around. And then I, having not actually looked at anybody using the shooting range, I was like, well, how do I get the Cabal in here? How do I get, an ogre to spawn in? How do I get a champion to spawn in? I was like, this is how I do it. Yeah. Lots of bouncing around, shooting at different things to realize that I needed to do that first. So
yeah,
you will have that to do.
Yeah, you did what poor Maven did in her testing video of all the new exotic changes. Walked to there and said, I can't figure out how to make this work, so I'm going back to Carl the Cabal in the Lost Sector and did it all there. Yeah.
Good news though for you. I have checked your contract here, and it does say that you don't have to cover the law. That is down to Noble and Arf. I won't force Noble to read it right now, but what I will do is force Noble to get with Arf at some point, because you need to read brief 003, 004, and 005 now. That's it. No arguing. I don't want to hear any excuses. We're not hearing any excuses, because we're just going to move on from there. And we're going to get a Bungie Foundation campaign update.
The only thing I'll mention is apparently our ghost has a file of all the insults that the Vex of the Nessian Schism have broadcast to him during your engagements with their forces. And I would really like Bungie to tell us what that list of insults is. How are the Vex insulting us? I would like to know.
No, we don't need to know. We need Arf to tell us.
Well, we're skipping the cutscene is what you're telling me.
Told you we were getting done half. Told you.
True. So the Bungie Foundation, the campaign's coming to an end. By the time you hear this, it's probably over. It's ending Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S., and 6 p.m. British time, and sometime like Wednesday in Australia. Yeah, that'll be over. They are doing a stream, which you'll either have watched or not have watched at this point, and the conclusion of our 7th column Chaos PvP tournament.
I've got a question for you, though.
Or not.
How are they ending at 10 a.m. PT, which is reset time for everybody? And presumably, I mean, I'm not being funny about this, but you have told us that there's going to be an update that's happening on Tuesday. And normally when this update happens, the game goes down for a couple of hours. How are they still able to play it up until 10 o'clock? Special preference, I guess. What's that all about?
They're not. They just haven't made the team that are playing the game aware of the fact that 2 hours short.
No, come on. If they've been playing Destiny for any amount of time and they know that Tuesday's reset day, you don't get to finish at 10 a.m. PT. You get to finish at, say, 7 a.m. PT. That's it. End of. There's at least 3 hours downtime.
They just haven't told each other yet.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll have a special server for our 4 stacked teams: our Paracausal Ponies, the Colonel's Revenge, Crash, and Stranger Danger. That are apparently our last 4 teams standing. So one of them will win, and good things will happen. And Bungie will have either hit their target or they haven't. They're at $964,760 at this point, on our way to $1,777,777.
Nice.
$1,777,000. So we haven't gotten there yet, which feels rare. I mean, again, I'm talking about lower player bases, player counts. I feel like normally these things are hit and done and dusted, like, the moment they go live. So it's a little ways to go. So will they hit it? Will they not? Probably. I mean, that's what these big streams are good for. So yeah. Bungie's going to do a stream. You can donate. You cannot donate. They've got, they got all the new emblems we've talked about. The new, if you're missing emblems, if you're missing some of the emotes, go to the Bungie Foundation page. You can donate, not donate, but at least see what your options are. You can give them things and get things in return. And if you watch the stream that's already happened at this point, you can get a nice little, your raid team wiped skull with. It feels sort of like Graviton Lancy, just like the way those like diagonal lines are. It makes me feel like a Graviton Lance, sort of the purple theme with the lines and your raid team wiping. Yeah, but there's another emblem. So for watching on Tuesday at the Bungie Foundation Twitch page. So twitch.tv/ I'm going to say Bungie Foundation. Is it? Yes, twitch.tv/ Bungie Foundation. I want to double check before I send people to the wrong place. So yeah, you've either watched the stream, you've not watched the stream. I don't know what to tell you. But we have updates, because boy do we always. So like we teased earlier, update 9004 is coming on Tuesday, July 29th. And they're also going to focus, in addition to the things we told you about earlier, the short list of what they're focusing is the hit markers not functioning when damaging targets. So that's hey, I throw a grenade this way and then I turn over here. You don't see any numbers, off screen. It's basically, did that grenade hit? Did anything happen? You don't know. Those should be coming back. The Metadoxia and the Wishful Ignorance exotics cannot be fully masterworked. So I'm guessing they're going to fix that and not continue to have them not be fully masterworked. But maybe, we'll see. And at high health stat, your HP values can become desynchronized across the network, which is not good. It's good for everyone to know how much health you have. You, the enemy, your friend, everyone. PlayStation 4, they listed, you guys sadly are having a bunch of crashes with the game, and for some reason, a bunch of the TechSec armor and the twofold crown mark and the last discipline mark are causing issues. So they do have, this list where, on the Warlock, your TechSec chest, the Hunter, your TechSec cloak and Bushido cloak, on the Titan, your TechSec mark, your twofold crown mark, and your last discipline mark. Apparently putting those on crashes the game. So Bungie did say, hey, here's the list. Please swap those out. They did have an update on the 23rd of July saying we've just deployed a server-side update to address PlayStation 4 console crashes. As a short-term mitigation, we have temporarily swapped the appearance of the armor pieces known to cause crashes for other existing armor. So if you were wearing any of those armor pieces I just mentioned and they look weird, that's why. So something about the way they look is crashing the game? I don't know. But PS4 people, if you haven't been able to play because your armor was crashing the game, you could have either gone to Dim to put on different armor and then load the game up, or Bungie has already replaced it with something different looking, so now your game should work. Good luck. Godspeed. And we have known issues that they know about and will be fixing at some point. Not Tuesday probably, but at some point. So, in the Edge of Fate, where we all are, some players can be blocked from launching the Edge of Fate mission if error-coded or leaving midway. A temporary workaround is to join a player who's already accessed the mission and they launch into it. So, find a friend. Matterspark causing visual flickering at high field of view settings. Players experiencing this issue are advised to lower their game's field of view. They have a guide and more tips if you need those, if you're playing on a high field of view setting. Not all players are earning the expected exotic armor reward for completing the Edge of Fate Legendary campaign. Players should check at the altar relativity for their reward in addition to replaying the invitation and commencement missions, as there are separate known issues related to legendary completion being incorrectly shown in the Legend Forge triumph for these missions. So if you completed the campaign on Legendary, didn't get your armor, check the altar and then possibly replay those two missions. That should fix it? Question mark. Your Mythic campaign missions are sometimes not granting players completion progress when other members of the fire team are at different completion states. Fun. Players cannot attack in Matterspark if primary vehicle fire button is not bound. So, on console at least, it's right trigger. So if that's not doing anything, if you're not shocking things, check your game settings that your primary vehicle fire button is bound to something. Some button, because you're going to need that in the Matterspark. Players can soft-lock themselves if reaching the relocator and exiles a cord too quickly. Some enemies do not suspend as expected on the Keplar destination. All players in a fire team will see the fire team's leader ghost when receiving calls during the Edge of Fate. Okay. Radios? Hey, we have radios. I'm not complaining at this point. Weapons and armor. If you've been trying to run the Adept Icarus mod, it can display as disabled. Your certain ammo generation focus mods are not correctly appearing on all relevant weapons. Your destabilizing rounds can inconsistently grant volatile rounds. Your Vex Mythic class rate of fire is incorrect. Your Queensbreaker no longer blinds in single shot mode. The Graviton Spike exotic hand cannon is missing its floor tab. Glaive melee attacks do not activate bolt charge. Remnants from Thorn do not spawn when tangles appear after killing an enemy. Due to an issue, the Spirit of Liar exotic class item perk has been disabled. The description for the Mask of Backrest exotic helmet does not accurately reflect a recent change where it can be activated with stasis or arc supers equipped instead of only stasis. The noble rounds fired from the boots of the assembler exotic warlock leg do not buff allies standing in the caster's rift. For triumphs and missions. So your Keplar tasks triumph cannot be completed. Due to an issue, one of Ikora's tasks will be unavailable until update 9004, in which time the missing quest and then this triumph can then be completed. So, time-gated or bugged? It is bugged. It will be fixed. Yeah. So players who have acquired but not completed the Graviton Through the Ages exotic quest may be blocked from completing the commencement campaign mission on alternate characters until the exotic quest has been completed. The Dark Academia quest cannot be completed until after players have completed the Outer Steps Strangelet. An enemy in the Morphology mission has a placeholder name. Which one? Don't know. But if you find them, tell me. More. Under more, we have players can sometimes get stuck running at normal walk speed. Another issue they had in the day one raid. Quitter protection in competitive playlist is not working. Fireteam base protection is still working. This is our moment. We quit our way to the top. Raid banners do not always function as expected. Some exotic armor purchases from Xur do not grant progress towards Favor of the Nine. Enemies with Banes may have odd visual effects for some players. The XP bar at the bottom of the screen does not accurately display how much XP has been earned. Don't worry, this is a purely visual issue. It's not affecting the amount of XP you're actually gaining.
Sure it is.
And if for some reason you're saying, but I want more bugs, I want more things, there's a link to the whole article here at the bottom of the page. And they'll tell you about all sorts of more things that are broken and not working. Like your BXR 55 Battler doesn't benefit from anti-barrier pulse rifle artifact mod. Just as an example.
Yeah, why would it?
It doesn't want to. Doesn't
It's
feel
old
like
news.
it.
Doesn't
You can't
need
make it.
No.
Mm-mm. Also, apparently the visual for health regained in PvP may be inconsistent. So, good times. Oh, and I don't remember who's trying to do dual destiny, but combatants in dual destiny exotic mission are at a higher power level than expected.
Yes, they are.
How much higher? Okay, I was like, how much higher? I could not tell you, but apparently Noble could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
that's a new date, and that's what.
Yeah, some things are messed up.
Yeah,
Let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. Some old things are messed up.
so if you're playing something and you're saying, but I didn't hear you say it, there is a whole article with more things wrong. This is just what Bungie is sort of choosing to highlight. So, before you go and make your YouTube video or screaming forum posts, at least see if it's on the known issues list. See if they're aware of it, because they're aware. They're working on it. Just like we're aware of all the Lodi artwork we're getting this week. And how I've watched Fallout's video about all 10 years of day one raid races.
Yeah, we told
No.
people about it last week. We said, watch it.
Yeah.
It was in the list. You should have
Yeah.
watched it. And then and understand why he's got movie of the...
Yeah, exactly. So, and now Budget's telling you should watch it. It's worth your time. Stick it on the background. It's good times. Watch it, relive it, and say, which is the hardest one? Who struggled when? When was Crota hard? Now you know. And that's the end of this TWAB. We made it. We talked about the broken things, the fixed things. We had a moan. We moaned about the moaners.
Yeah, that's right.
We had a good time.
We did. Noble, did you have a good time?
Always having a good time.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here because you said you wanted to come on and thank everybody and anybody that helped with the stream and supported you in the stream. So how much money did you raise in total for Mind?
In the end, I think it was just over £320.
Wow.
Or
Awesome.
if you are an American, that would be roughly $400 according to Google. So if it's wrong, don't shoot me. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. It's
Just make him do another stream to actually get that amount.
Well, and don't worry. It'll be a different amount tomorrow when you look because the exchange rate will be different.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it was good. It was pleasant. There's lots of people came by, just either just said hello or hung about for 20 minutes and had a little conversation and whatnot, which was nice. It was nice because
Kept you
it
going.
It was a lot busier than some of the others.
That's good.
Having a different chair to sit in was massive bonus. I feel much less broken. But it certainly, I've swapped a regular computer chair for a rocking computer chair.
Ooh.
Right. Okay.
Which was so much comfier. I'm not going to lie, because you get to exercise your legs by having a little rock, which sounds absolutely amazing. But when you're doing a 24-hour stream and it's 4 o'clock in the morning and everybody else has disappeared off the bed and you're sat talking to yourself and you think, oh, I'll just have a little rock because my legs are hurting, and then you think, oh, that little rock it's increasing the time it takes me to blink.
Yeah.
We're not.
I've gone from blinking to, I think they're naps between blinks. So yeah,
Not
between
like old man play video games allegations.
Yeah, between 4 a.m. and I think it was about 6:30 in the morning. So between 4 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. It was really, really tough.
Yeah,
because just everybody just disappeared. But then my wife got up and I was like, "Oh, wife, hello."
Hello,
I tell you what would really help wake me up would be the smell of bacon. And yeah, the smell of bacon worked wonders. It woke me up. It did marvelous things, and we powered through.
Bacon does.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's awesome.
And I had the audacity to stop moving to eat my bacon sandwich. And in that precise moment that I stopped moving to eat my bacon sandwich, somebody turned up and said, every time I come into your street to have a look and see what you're doing, you just stood still.
You were. Every time I came in to check. I wanted to know what my money was doing for me. It was doing nothing. It was just standing out. Every time I was like, oh, there's a ghost on the screen. Somebody's dead and walked away for half an hour. Like, typical. How are you going to keep people entertained if you just keep dying and leave your ghost on the screen? And you're not even here to talk at me.
I mean, unfortunately, I did do the 24-hour stream. You know, I mean, the stream was running for 24 hours. Was I constantly sat here? No, I did still have to put. I did still have to.
And we talked about the little bit of a fortnight deviation that you should have added on to the end. You should have added more time. You should have done 25 and a half hours because of the little deviation. I know it wasn't your fault entirely, but it was your fault for switching on to Fortnite and not keeping it Destiny themed. I expect
I should have just sat on dim for an hour.
No, I'm giving you a lecture now. Next time you say a 24-hour Destiny stream, I expect if Destiny is down, lore readings. Do not sit back and go, oh, I'll play Fortnite. You get a book out and you read me some lore.
You get a book. Oh dear! No, it was
no.
Yes, read Demon his bedtime stories at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I did still have to deal with the kids and whatnot, like pop kids to bed and stuff like that. So yeah, there was times where I wandered off because having she's nearly 4 and almost 18-month-old. Like ignoring them for 24 hours was an absolute no-go. There was my 4-year-old. There was not a chance. She was standing at the doorway, being able to see me and hear me.
At 4 years old. At 4 years old, that's where you put them on. That's where you put them on the PlayStation. You go, here's a controller. Join me. We will dual stream.
Really, my wife would kill me.
Next year, it's a dual stream with your 5-year-old at that point. And if the game goes down, if the game goes down, it's lore readings, bedtime story style.
Okay, we can do that. I think next year.
No,
I am going to do another. I am going to do another one next year.
Good.
I don't know who for yet, but yeah, I am going to do another one next year because I do enjoy doing them, and I do feel. I did say last year that it was going to be my last one, but I felt wrong not doing one.
Well, I mean, to be frank, last year the game was in such a state. I remember you just trying to do anything, and the game was just so broken and just like resetting your progress. And I remember watching you running forward and getting reset. Again, like that scene in Monty Python that I always think about of running up to the castle getting reset, running up to the castle getting reset. It was just it was not good. At least this year when Bungie took the game down, for the hour or so, it was just an hour, and it was like, hey, we're going to push a patch out. It's not, oh God, we're turning the servers off. Things are real bad, like it was last time.
Yeah, yeah. Last year was horrendous, but yeah, I'm definitely going to do another one next year because, like I say, I thought last year, oh no, this is going to be my last one. I'm getting too old for this, but it makes me feel better. Like I can be an idiot all year, but then once a year for 24 hours, I redeem myself by doing something reasonably nice for other people.
So start now. So start now for next year. Assign different friends in different time zones and say, all right, you are in a time zone. I'm going to need you to keep me company between the hours of 4 and 6. You've got 6 to 8. You've got 8 to 10.
Well, what I need to do is I need to find a friend that's EST, and I need to send his wife a begging message. Apparently, because some people's wives are really good if you beg them.
Not mine. Don't even try. Peroty has tried. Peroty has tried reasoning with Deacon. Deacon is set in her ways.
There's no reason, but my wife is susceptible to begging, though. So,
as I found out last week when I sent an extremely beggy message to Mrs. Peroty to let the Pink Panther Peroty come out and play, and she did.
That I did read to her, not in my best British accent, because let's be honest, I don't have one of those. But I did say, imagine imagine a British man reading this to you. I don't know which accent she used in her head, but it was acceptable.
Probably mine,
anyway.
because she knows she likes mine.
Likely,
better than
yes.
his.
I was going to say it's much. It's not going to be my accent because there's not many things that you're going to see on TV with a horrible Yorkshire accent coming at you. Even Patrick Stewart doesn't use his real accent, and he's from not far from me.
So yeah, I mean that's what you have to do. Next year, you have to say, okay, you know, leverage the Australians and say, listen, you guys need to pull your weight in this, you know, middle of the night for everybody else because everyone else has gone to bed because they've hit the 4 a.m. or going. I have to sleep.
Yeah, Andy, that's a good point.
It's important. Leverage the Australians. They're good people and they're awake at odd hours.
Yeah.
So, have we got any more news, Peroty, or have we covered everything this week for the peoples?
We've basically covered everything. Because everything here again, I was dutifully screenshotting these things and these long updates that they send. Oh, hey, we're just gonna do that. So I think the only thing I've really got left is I did see that. Somebody was saying, "Oh, you know, the bug with third iteration is this or that or the other." Well, Mercules responded on Reddit and said, "You know, this was not the bug. Again, it was someone's long explanation." He's like, "No." So the bug was that, and again, this is, you know, you think game dev is easy. The bug was that the impact response granted to the weapon when it was made anti-barrier was overriding the spread projectile's custom damage impulse to one that was much stronger, because the spread projectiles are inheriting much of their behavior from a shotgun projectile, hence the significantly increased damage. The charge shots did not have this issue, and being able to deal extra damage with the spread shots on marked targets is part of the intended gameplay. So because your scout rifle shoots shotgun shells, basically, and then when we applied anti-barrier to that interacted a weird way, and then it was really strong, so that's why it was doing more damage than expected. Things are hard. Maths are involved. And then the rest of the notes were basically about all the things we've talked about of ammo and power deltas and everything Bungie addressed, and, you know, Zero Stay being a thing. And yeah, that was the end of our notes for this week. Did you watch any videos?
I did, because that's all I could do. I couldn't play. I could watch. So this week we have Cheese Forever. Literally in the last 24 hours, broken double damage resist glitch, which was with the armors, but using those as ornaments. Fallout Plays, a Desert Perpetual raid guide. We'd already talked about that. 360 Gaming TV has got the Sacred Emergence quest, the Molt and Ghost locations, and also all 24 Urn locations. So if you didn't watch any of the kind of individual ones, there's a full list there, all in that video. Esoteric has got all Keplar secrets complete guide. Sneaky Beaver, throwing this one in there. The new Unkillable Hunter meta build. Looks unkillable. I haven't tried it, so I can't confirm. But
I might need to have a look at that because
you need it.
Is absolutely useless.
Yeah. And did you know?
Very killable.
Yeah.
He's very killable.
That unknown, he was unknown, but he's now that unknown, has got the Solemn's Remembrance Godroll hand cannon guide. So I thought, as we've got hand cannons coming up this next week and people are interested, this is one of the new hand cannons. He's got a guide on a Godroll for PvE and PvP in there. And then finally, I don't know if you guys have seen this, the one-hit boss hunter build that's been going around. People have been one-hitting Atheon, like just and destroying him. I don't know where else this works, but Aurora's got you kind of covered with the one-hit hunter build.
Poor Atheon has just been abused so many times over. Poor Atheon just needs some retirement at some point, just to recover, if nothing else. Just a nice trip to the seashore, some spa care, something.
Or he needs to come back in a future DLC, bigger, stronger, better, faster.
And then we're gonna have the whole montage, the Atheon training montage. It could work. I like it. And I've got a couple this week. Esoteric has the Matter Spark is actually very good, and shows a number of ways that the Matter Spark doesn't take boss damage or can just wipe the floor with enemies. It can do some fun things that you maybe wouldn't expect other than bouncing around drunkenly like a toddler. So the Matter Spark, very good.
I love the Matter Spark. I think it's excellent.
It's excellent and very good. So Evades put out a couple, The Unknown Secrets of Agent Louis Yarrow, What You Missed, and how it started. What they found changed everything, basically. Talking about lore, talking about, Agent Yarrow is Lodi, and, why we got here, how we got here, what's been going on. Bife, of course, Destiny 2 lore, the death of 3, why the conductor killed one of the 9, what happens next. and Duddits 2, who has yet a different accent, probably from somewhere 45 minutes from you. You have no idea how good armor sets are. 190% kinetic buff tech sec, Destiny 2 Edge of Fate. So he's been playing with the tech sec armor, giving you that kinetic damage buffs. Which now that I finally have the new auto rifle with kinetic tremors, I'm gonna enjoy and just laugh. Chablo 91 has what it's really like to be a new light in 2025 new miniseries part 1, gaining access to the tower. And sort of, I think he said it was either his son or friend or nephew or someone he's playing with is like new to Destiny 2, so he as a seasoned player sort of going through the new light experience alongside them and just sort of comparing, hey, what do you actually get when you start the game? What do you actually see? What do you actually go through? How much does the game hold your hand? Where does it just drop you off? Just for what is the new light experience starting in 2025? Which I always like to try. If someone is doing a series like that, I like to try to sort of feature and look at this and say, hey, if you're curious or if you're struggling, maybe this will help you.
I have been doing a bit of that recently. I've had a couple of new lights start playing, as I was telling you the other day, Peroty.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
So not great.
It's a terrible experience to try to be at the side of a new light player.
Yeah, again, watching this video of what the experience is like. And again, he's obviously coming from it from they give you this, they start you this, this weapon used to have this perk on it. And I guess they changed the Night Watch, the one that gave you the used to have a thing explosive payload and now has something different. Yeah, so again, you're sort of comparing what it used to be to what it is, and yeah, have they gotten to the point where they're in the portal? Like, does that even have they gotten to the point to be confused yet, or are they still pre proper confusion?
Pre proper confusion.
Oh my god!
And they're already
this is definitely something we need to investigate and report back on and do a whole show on at some point later down the line.
This is why I've been paying attention to it. Because I was genuinely interested, like, how bad is this experience? Because you do hear stories of how bad the experience apparently is.
Yeah,
and it's bad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that's honestly in a way I was hoping that they would sort of do away with the world a little bit more and sort of focus more on the portal and say, if you're new, focus here. Ignore the world tab for now. Focus here. Start there. But here we are. And then the only last thing I have is we told you about the Destiny 2 Pass recently, but have you heard about the Destiny 2 Season Pass Wayback Machine? So we have another extension that I think is asked across. I can't remember if asked across. I'll have to find the video. I put the link in here to the pass itself because there's a Chrome and a Firefox extension both. But if you just search Destiny 2 Season Pass Wayback Machine for Chrome or Firefox, it basically lets you go back further and see more Season Pass stuff. Apparently only until 2022 now, because there's a note when I loaded up that I guess they made some API changes with the launch of Edge of Fate. So I guess you used to be able to go back further with this, but now it lets you go back to 2022. But even then, I have a lot of rewards sitting there. And basically how it works is you install this pass, you go to the Bungie, previous season page on Bungie.net. You log in with your account, and then it pulls all the old things you never collected. And so if you need loads of hunter gear or old weapons, or know you have stuff sitting in there, you can go at least three years back and pull that stuff to your character. Weapons, armor, materials. That's all available there. So just another one to highlight if you're. Again, if you're coming back and didn't collect past things that you paid for, you can pull them that way. At least until I think it said up to February 2022. It goes back to now. More of that stuff you can pull to your character and stuff that you either forgot to get or didn't have room for at the time, and now you do. And then just plunder the booty. That man has been putting out build. Every time I turn around, he has a better build than the one I was using before, or the one I'm going to put together once I get more new exotics and revamp them. Yeah, he's just been putting out, he's in the show notes all the time, but Blood of the Booty site, he's just been putting out loads and loads of builds, so excited to play with those for every character. And that's all I've got. I'd ask Noble, but that just feels like a losing proposition.
Yeah, no, there's no point.
Yeah. No, I've watched nothing.
You watched twitch.tv/noble2337 for 24 straight hours. That's what you've watched.
I did watch
Or
that.
lived.
Yeah, live that. But no.
All right, well.
To be fair, I look on Twitter and get annoyed enough with Twitter to think, X, whatever. That.
The everything app?
Yeah, I ain't looking at anything else because this has annoyed me enough. Thank you. Bye.
Well, there we go. Well, now that he's been annoyed, I've been annoyed, and we've annoyed you. This is where I say thank you to our lovely patrons, like Renard Calant and Zep Orbit, who cannot be threatened with a good time, but can be threatened with cat emotes and cosmetics. Threatening with new cat things, always fun. Yeah, Golden God 1562, Fire Squad 1688, the man coming from Texas and Feral, our lovely grenade throwers. And there's that one other guy, Demon. There's that one other grenade thrower guy who, what's his name? Nobel. What was it? Oh, Noble. Right. That Noble. Guy. Yeah, he's one of them too. Thank you. It's nice to thank you, lovely humans.
You're welcome.
And then, sadly, Gravy Jeff did not take the day one raid, but Deacon is still refining her practices, and we'll figure out for next year how to do even better. We have faith in you. Always have faith in you, because that's the decision he made. And the decision I made is saying thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty, Night Demon, and Noble. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts, or just search Two Titans and a Hunter. Anywhere on the internet, you'll find us. If you too are screaming at your phone and can't scream at us in real life about words we've forgotten, the things we're trying to remember, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can scream at us in email form. Or go to YouTube because you've watched, the new 801 video, whatever verse thing is coming out. You've placed your bet on what bodes are coming up, and you can scream at us via comments there. Don't scream at us because we'll just delete you because we don't take that nonsense. Talk to us. We'll talk back. It's good times. You can find the show and all the show notes, all the things we've talked about at twotitansandahunter.com, or likely in the thing you're using to play this podcast right now. If you want to join the Auto Dance Troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTAH. If you want a more casual encounter, buy the nice British man a coffee. He'll probably just dump it down and make tea, but you can go to coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. That's ko-fi.com. And one of these days, twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter may have something. You should go there and follow, and you'll find out what's happening.
Probably back in September, when all the kids have finished at school, we can get back to doing streaming during the week. So yeah, you can join us for that.
Yeah, well, that's why you should go there and hit the follow button now. Then you'll be in the know. You won't have to wait. You just know what's happening. And until next week, tell the people goodbye, gents.
Bye.
Is that it? Is that what you're going to give?
Yeah, just goodbye.
No, more than that.
So they're not getting more than that. They're just getting a goodbye.
That's a bit better. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you to anybody who came and gave me a donation.
It's too late now.
Really
you had your chance. You had
No.
your chance to say that.
No.
Not at the end. Not at the end. You had
No.
your chance. I gave you a whole 10, 15 minutes to talk about that. I can't now say it.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. It's over and done with. The titles have rolled. This is at the end. Nobody else is listening. Nobody listens at the end part.
We do.
They get to the music and they just turn it off. That's it.
No, we don't. Some of us listen.
I would wager this is specifically what people listen for. They just fast forward to the end and listen to
yeah. We listen because my car won't change until I've listened to it.
This is where Demon inputs just 30 minutes of silence just at the end.
There was nothing to be said here. It's just AI robots just talking amongst themselves.
Is it broken? Has this worked?
I don't know how to turn this off now. Oh, there it is.